Hello all, and thank you for joining. Hopefully all the buttons are working. Looks like it's not. I'm gonna have to work that one out, and I bet I can fix this. Wait, there it goes. Hello everybody, my name's TJ. Bryce is my co-host today. He's currently finding us a match, and it is time to go. Professor Top Hat, Tevin, and Hollow Yoshi. Hello! A, all fantastic names. And B, it's time for 5 rounds of Modern. What's our round 1?
Facing the wall is Coleman.
Ooh, so we've got Coleman, who is on the blue-white brew, I think.
Yep.
Basically all about evoking Revelarks.
Revelarks and Muldrifters.
Right? And?
David.
Oh, God. Oh,
They're
no.
playing each other in the first round. I was like, we have to get this.
Okay, so we're going to call this Birdemic.
Is that what it's called?
I call it.
Oh, Coleman's is called Birdemic.
Yeah, and David's in the true... Okay, so let's call this Harmless Coil.
Yeah, I think he called it Harmless Coil.
Harmless Coil, and then let's just call it, like, in parentheses, Donate. Oh, man. So, okay, so this deck is, like, it's one, running Splendid Reclamation and Scape Shift in the deck with Dredgers.
Yep.
It's also
running the wonderful combo of Harmless Offering plus
And
Demonic Pact and Immortal Coil.
Yes. So...
Because
I checked.
David.
I checked my calendar and it said it was Bruise Day, and I thought it was just a typo in the wrong day.
Nope. It's just Bruce Day.
Wow. Let's head on down. Have some fun. It's round 1. Okay, so by now most of you are likely aware of what Harmless Offering does. It's the new color shifted. I mean, most people are aware. It's the new color shifted Donate. But a lot of you may not know what Immortal Coil does, so let's go ahead and bring up that card.
That is a weird one from Alara.
4 mana artifact that has tap, remove 2 cards in your graveyard from the game, draw a card. But it also says if damage would be dealt to you, you prevent that damage and remove a card from your graveyard from the game. Or in your graveyard from the game.
For each 1 damage.
If there are no cards, you lose... No cards in your graveyard, you lose the game. Well, David is also mainboarding several Relic of Progenitus. So, the point being that this is absurd.
Yes. This is just insane.
On both sides of the field, because Coleman is going to be going for just a huge amount of blue-white. Like, it's all about sacrificing Muldrifters and Revelarks, and, like, there's...
Just value.
I think there's 12, like, mainboard life gain creatures in there. It's just beats aggro kind of thing, but doesn't have a whole lot of counterspells, and it doesn't interact, like...
Doesn't interact with the board great.
No, because David doesn't run a whole lot of creatures. Coleman is running Path and life gain. So David actually might have a chance in this one.
I think David might actually take this.
Just through the pure level
Suspend Search for Tomorrow.
Of inability for Coleman to actually interact with what David is doing. But a Suspended Search for Tomorrow off of an Overgrown Tomb from David. That means that on his turn 3, he's going to have access to 4 mana. IP Tank, thank you so much for hitting that follow button. Clearly, these are the decks to do it for. But he's going to have access to 4 mana on turn 3, which could be when he drops down this Demonic Pact. All of a sudden, we're digging into several draws, and it gives you a huge amount of time as far as actually looking into how you want to go about this.
Getting that donate.
Also, 2 Sakura Tri-Builders and another Search for Tomorrow in hand.
He might just Scapeshift win this one.
He's only run like one
He's only
Scapeshift in the
one
main.
Scapeshift in the main, and he has 2 in the two or 3 in the board.
This deck
It's
is
so ridiculous.
It's off the chain.
Oh, David.
So, Wooded Phil is coming down. We are going to get for a Thought Season 2, I believe, the Search for Tomorrow. Taking a look at Mold Drifter.
You take the Mold Drifter.
I think you take the Mold Drifter and
You
leave
can
him with
have
2
those
paths
paths.
to exile.
Enjoy them, please.
Well, what's he going to do? Hit your Sakura Tri-Builder? Oh no, I get a land.
Sack it in response. Ha! Show him who's boss.
IP Tank, I gotta say, I feel like I recognize your name, and I'm not sure if that's because there was like a similar name once, but if this is your first time joining us, welcome. It's great having you. If you are coming back, then welcome back. But Goblin Guy, we have got...
That's exactly what you think it is.
This... Oh, I didn't put out the tweet. I gotta put the...
We's be streaming. People...
Okay, so it looks like he draws into the Wall of Omens, which is not a bad way to go about it. And, alright.
To be fair, this is the day after Eldritch Moon has come out. People should show up with cool things.
Right. There are crazy decks tonight. If I could spell. You know what? Mobile keyboard just wrecks me all the time.
I've noticed. I see things that you type.
It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. Let's put my little hashtags. Let's see here.
David drew Splendid Reclamation.
Got it.
He's got Demonic Pact in hand.
He's got 2 lands in there. I mean, I'm probably a fan of just going for...
You just go for the Pact?
I might almost just go for the 2 Sakura Tri-Builders.
Just deploy both Elders?
Yeah. Just make sure that you actually have something going on, because I think looking at Coleman's deck, I'm in no rush to drop down this Demonic Pact, because Coleman can't do a thing about it once I do.
Yep. Looks like just gonna get these 2 Tri-Builders out there.
So, yeah, I can't imagine that David is under a whole lot of pressure.
19 from a fetch early on.
So I'm happy with developing my board, keeping the Splendid Reclamation if needed, having a way, and then eventually if I draw into it or if I go particularly well, then we can definitely go for it. No Slider, I lost the website, and after doing its trial run, we have some things that we want to change about it, size-wise, and labeling it, and doing some other stuff. So we're still working it out. That was a good beta run, and we're going to be going back, making some different things based on what people said.
You didn't use it at all during my match.
Exactly. We also need to get back into the habit of it and make it towards a bit more... A
thing that's happening.
Yeah. Exactly. So... The 2 Wall of Omens, I mean, a couple of Path to Exile is not looking too great here.
Let's go in NBCA.
A Supreme Verdict, and is that an Eldrazi Sky Spawner? Oh no. Hey, NBCA, it is good to see ya. Whirly 25. Oh, there's some sweet things happening.
No Fire Hat, though.
It's still in my car. Someone suggested, I think it was actually Tevin, was like, you should sign it and give it away. Send something that's like all of 3 ounces through the mail.
What was the old donate combo? So the old donate combo used Illusions of Grandeur and donate, because you would gain 20 life off your Illusions of Grandeur, and then you'd hand it to them and make them pay 2 mana until they couldn't, and then they would lose 20 life and lose the game probably.
Yes. This new one just says you lose the game. It's also, not modern legal otherwise. I'm sure that one would be run.
Mm-hmm.
That card's not bad.
Illusions is ridiculous.
Gaining 20 life is super annoying, by the way, in case you are wondering. So, I think the nice part about Illusions of Grandeur is that even if your donate doesn't work, you don't lose the game.
Yeah, because you can keep paying until you're able to cast another one.
Either that, or you just go back to where you were.
Yeah, you just go back to where you were.
So we're just gonna hard cast this Search for Tomorrow. We do also have the Sakura Tri-Builders. I like David being patient with these. In his deck, there are not a whole lot of things that he needs that much mana for. So I like the idea that he's being patient with it. He's making sure that he can just keep them up for when he needs them. In the meantime, they're going to be acting as a great way to just... And against 2 Wall of Omens, there's not a huge amount of value going on there. But at least they're on the board. They're establishing that David has at least got something going on, and Coleman can't drop down a 2-1 and just start going to town.
David with the chump check here. Attack
Hey.
with my elder in year 04.
You never know. David is representing Lightning Bolt,
Totally have a
technically.
goal. Totally have it. Except I think that I'm pretty sure that David showed Coleman his deck before this whole thing started today, and Coleman would know that David's not actually running Bolt.
Which is a mistake, by the way.
I agree.
So, a Prairie Stream coming down for Coleman, basically a painless land at this point because he does have the other 2 basics required for it. And we are going to go for a Supreme...
Verdict.
That is
I'll
really
sacrifice
aggressive.
It is a miscut white border mountain.
Bramunda Rhombus, it is good to see you. I don't think Donate was ever banned, to my knowledge.
I don't think Donate was banned.
So I don't believe it was Professor Top Hat, but I don't know. I only started playing back in like the last time that we were on Innistrad, so maybe I'm wrong. I'm really surprised by Coleman firing off this Supreme Verdict here. Maybe just so that he can get it out of the way now. Oh, or because
He's
he has
going
a
to
Revelark.
evoke a Moldrift.
He's got a Revelark.
Revelark next turn.
That's why.
Yeah. Wants to get back a Moldrifter and a Wall of Omens.
That seems okay.
Evoke Revelark, draw 3 cards. It seems decent.
Yes, the mountain is absolutely beautiful. So the reason why I cast that is so that next turn he can either evoke it or cast it, and you get back the 2 Wall of Omens, and it allows him to dig back into that deck for the threat dense potential.
So David has 8 mana, and right now he's looking at this Demonic Pact in his hand going, wow, I really wish that I had actually put stuff in that can, you know, get rid of Demonic Pact if I need to.
Or you take the risk. I like taking the risk.
He's playing, what, 3 Harmless Offerings?
I think the biggest problem right now is that he is running about 5 to 6 dredgers and hasn't hit any of them.
Yeah.
Saladin, it is great to see you. It's awesome. Yeah, it's been really cool. I think that you've only started like joining us in the last month or 2 or something like that, but it's been really good having you join us frequently and with your cheerful hellos every time you join in.
Well, here's Pact.
Yes.
In play.
Oh man, let's see if David read the contract.
David has 3 turns.
So I mean, he has to go for the draw 2 next turn.
Yes, absolutely. Especially when Coleman's about to draw.
So your discard
he's
isn't
just
going to be
casting Revelark.
great. Hey, it applies a threat, and it means that he's got a 3-turn clock on David.
Mm-hmm.
So interestingly enough, just donating it might not be enough. David needs some kind of way to both survive and give away this Demonic Pact, though the 4 damage.
If he needs to, he can just send 4 straight at the Lark.
That'll be probably fine. All right, let's get it. Let's draw some cards.
It has 3 uses left. What are you going to choose?
I mean,
David?
I gotta say, David right now is probably thinking, why don't I just am absolutely surprised that more people don't take this deal. You get to draw 2 cards at your upkeep. We did actually get into one of these dredgers. Do we have a way to get rid of it, though?
You get a Dredger and another Splendid Reclamation.
No,
Don't think he
actually,
has a way to do it.
the Stinkweed Imp, surprisingly not too bad right now.
Yeah, just cast it as a 1/2 pseudo Death Touch.
Saludin? I don't know. I'm learning things. I apologize when I mispronounce stuff.
Salahuddin.
But this 1/2 flying that can actually, interestingly enough, Coleman will likely attack into it anyway because he wants this Revelark to die. So, play it down.
here's
It's going to be a pretty solid blocker in this particular situation.
Path it.
Or you could
Get
path
that
it.
out of here.
I was actually thinking Coleman might just let it trade, but I like the idea of just keep the 3-turn clock instead of drawing more cards. And Coleman has got a lot of path.
Coleman might not even let this pact kill David. He might kill him before that happens.
That'd be so unfortunate. I don't like that. Professor Top Hat, we forgive you. We know you weren't trying to spread lies. But hello to the almost 50 people here. It's great having you all. I hope that you're all having a good whatever it is as far as time zone goes. But I'm having a good time. I had a barbecue. I left it to come here, and it's pretty solid.
I smell the barbecue.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice. You're welcome. So a swing for 4, knocking David down to 8, who is having just a little bit of trouble against this.
Alright, so David can just throw the 4 damage at the Revelark here if he would like to, or he can send it upstairs at Coleman.
I like the
He
idea
chooses
of...
to discard 2.
Interesting. Is it target opponent or is it target player?
I believe it's target opponent.
Target opponent.
Discards 2 cards.
Yeah.
So he's chosen the 3rd option and the 2nd option.
Fooms, my sweet hat is currently in the car.
Here's a faithful saluting.
If I wear the sweet hat every day, then it won't be a sweet hat anymore. Nice, a land and a Thoughtseize. Maybe a little bit too much land happening here.
Yeah, this is not good.
We do have double Splendid Reclamation, however. If I'm David, I have a short bit of time. I'd actually
flashback the.
I would also fire off the Splendid Reclamation, and I can tell you exactly why.
Immortal Coil.
Because.
And Abrupt Decay.
Neither of which are really incredible here.
No, he needs to hit the Harmless Offering next turn.
So I would go for the Splendid Reclamation, crack 3 of those fetches that I get back,
and
basically you thin out the deck. Because he's been drawing a lot of land, and with having 2 of those in hand, I'm not too worried about it. I'd fire off a Splendid and make sure that I'm less likely to draw into some of that land. I mean, it's not a great play, but I think it's the right play. Okay. I'm getting an interesting lesson, history lesson in the chat today, too.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of awesome. I'm digging it. So, the Revelark,
for 4.
Technically, he's going to go back up to 8, however, and a couple of, Colin's going to get to draw some cards. So,
alright, dude.
It's time to believe.
Has to be right there, or a Faithful Saluting might get you there.
It's time to believe. He dealt it to Coleman.
Just went upstairs. Did he draw Harmless Offering? He drew Golgari Grave Troll. And this game is over.
It's too bad. C. Glotzer, thank you so much for joining us and for hitting that follow button. I hope you're having a good time. And feel free to let me know where you're watching from, what you like to play as far as deck style goes, and...
It's true, he does get to draw a card off Immortal Coil, so...
Oh, that's beautiful. This is beautiful. Show it to...
Another Immortal Coil.
Jaina, he hasn't... Oh, wait.
He doesn't have the lands to cast it afterwards.
He could Splendid Reclamation.
Splendid Reclamation brings him back.
No.
Tapped.
Ah.
Splendid Reclamation brings back tapped.
Does it?
Yes.
Lame. So, Coleman gets game 1 just through doing the classic, always well-known Revelark beatdown game plan.
Except it ended up that he just sat there while the Mana Pack killed David.
That too. Oh yeah, so let us know where you're watching from, what style of decks that you like to play, and 3, how you found us, whether it's through Twitch, through, I don't know, a friend, through Reddit, through Facebook, through various social media, through Pokemon Go, through...
How did you find us through Pokemon
Professor
Go?
Xavier, because we're a Pokestop.
Well, yeah, I guess.
So, either way, I'm curious. Thank you to everybody for joining us. I know that there's some pretty solid competition on today.
Well, I mean, there's the SCG Open, which is always...
Which is like the competition.
Absolutely.
So, thank you everybody for joining us, and hopefully you're having a good time. Loved Revelark Merfolk in Lorwyn Standard. That sounds pretty sweet. I didn't play back during that time. Yeah. I pretty much only know, like, the deck archetypes starting... I vaguely know the ones that were from, like, Innistrad and forward, but I actually know what the decks were from, like, Theros forward, as far as Standard goes.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I have, like, this vague knowledge of, like, learning it over time of hearing about these various decks.
Oh, that was a deck that did a thing.
Oh, and Ravager Affinity. That deck wasn't bad.
Of course. I mean, it was fine.
Yeah.
It was, like, decent.
What was the artifact that David played?
Immortal Coil.
Yes. You should be free to meet up before the GP pull. Nice. Goblin Guide, do you mean going to pizza or do you mean coming to actually play? I'm curious, but nonetheless, that's super exciting. Man. Yeah, I'm really excited. I'd met some people yesterday, by the way, who came in who were also, I believe, from the stream, but either way, I didn't fully recognize them, and they recognized that I'd eaten a Tibble before. But they're actually going to be probably going down to have pizza with us. They're going to be going down to Portland.
Perfect.
So it looks like we are going to have some people hanging out, having some pizza with us. Also, I'm going to sneeze.
Gesundheit.
Woohoo!
Okay. That was an interesting sneeze, TJ.
Hi, MVC.
Channeling your inner MJ.
Jay's player, it's
JT.
Jay's player, it's great to see you. Hello, and thank you so much for joining. Oh, I can't wait to... Lash Curve, it's great to see you. And I must now dance when I sneeze. Pizza plus play, that's awesome. Definitely do it. It's going to be awesome.
Anyone who plays Kiki Core in the store? Yeah, we have a couple people who play Kiki Core.
JJ Hooks, thanks for joining. I think Harry might be out there. I think if
Take a glance.
Harry or Ian potentially out there, both of them would likely be on it. Or if we also have
I don't see either.
Reese also plays it.
Reese also plays it.
We do have some Kiki Cord players. JS Player, congratulations on going 4-0 with Jund. Nicely done. Yeah,
It's a good deck.
I sometimes do this very Michael Jackson sneeze. And when I say sometimes, I mean usually. Blue, white wings and things? Is that what we're watching on the side of the field now? I wonder if he actually is running the Spell Queller, because I believe he was intending to. I'm just not sure if he has it. But a turn 1 Thoughtseize, taking a look. I would totally
Probably
take this.
takes the wall.
I would take the
I
wall.
mean, you could take Relic,
Unless
I
he's
guess.
got the Dredgers in hand right now. That would be the only reason that I would think. But if you take the wall, then these Angels lose a lot of their value. Friendly Pig, thanks for coming back. It's awesome having you. They joined us for the first time yesterday. I recognize
Welcome.
that friendly pigs are something that you just don't get to see on the internet too often. But that's super cool. Gobble Guy, that is really awesome. Nicely done. Keep it up. What do you, anytime the blue-white control, or yeah, we'll totally see what we can do. Absolutely, Lash Curve. Bryce, have you?
I will see what I can do.
Beautiful. I guess I have very little actual control over it. Stomping Ground coming down, and we are going to go for a Faithless Looting. We do have a Thoughtseize in there, and we have the activation of the Relic of Progenitus. We are looking at a Valakut in hand, as well as having a Scape Shift in
Yeah, it
hand.
looks like David's got a
Sakura
Scape Shift. It
Tribuilder.
looks like he probably sideboarded into the more Scape Shift version of the deck, seeing that Coleman didn't have much counter magic last game. Wants to just Scape Shift his opponent as fast as he can.
Any Sliver players in the store?
Sometimes.
No, actually, well, not tonight.
Not
Well,
tonight.
The person who's normally on Slivers, Dustin, he's finally brought a deck that I've been requesting people to bring for months. Do you know?
Really?
He is on Red Green Tron.
Wow.
By the way,
okay.
Dustin, I'm looking to have him on camera today.
Okay.
This, like, our meta has been very available for a Red Green Tron player to move in. While there's a decent amount of aggro, the decks exactly like this are why you run Green Red Tron. And so I think that deck's probably going to do pretty well today.
Dustin's on Tron.
Justin is on Tron.
Justin?
Dustin.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm pretty excited about
So
it.
I think Dustin is playing against Eric.
That's unfortunate for Eric.
Well, he gets to see if Imprisoning the Moon does anything against Tron.
That's true. That is true.
Get your Tron land.
You know, Blue Moon is not nearly as effective against Tron as you would think.
No.
Turns out
It's
Oblivion
really
Stone
not
is
that
quite a good card.
Yeah, plus they just get to 7 mana and cast Karn.
Mm-hmm. So, we do have the Sakura Tribuilder coming out. It looks like he actually got rid of his own relic, just letting Coleman do all the work there. Immortal Coil, oh yeah, it's totally in here because he's running Harmless Offering. Otherwise, we're going to go back. I think he's deciding, I think he needs to find out how many mountains that he's got in the deck before he goes for this mountain. Tron is gross. Best counter spell in Mana Leak.
I mean, that's not true. You can counter their turn 3 Karn either on the play or the draw with Mana Leak.
I don't know. I like Tron, personally. I've actually been thinking about building it. It's a sweet deck. I agree that it's really good against control, but I mean, that's just kind of the way it goes. Boom Bust is not a bad one. Has he started running that in his sideboard yet? I don't think so.
No.
Because he's not on the, he was on the Dark
He was
Dweller
on
for a
Dark
little bit.
Dwellers for like a week, and he didn't like it.
Reasonable. I'm not a huge fan of it either in that particular deck. I think it works a lot better in Grixis.
Yeah.
So we do have the Relic. We have a Ghost Quarter for Coleman, which isn't going to be super effective. Otherwise, we still do have one of these Restoration Angels and still a Wall of Omens. Coleman missing any white mana right now, though. So on double blue and a Ghost Quarter, I wouldn't even be too surprised. No, I'm surprised, but not too surprised to see Coleman potentially utilize this Ghost Quarter to fix his mana base. Otherwise, we have a Stinkweed, a Demonic Pact in David's hand. Let's see. Seems like Mono Blue Tron might make a comeback because of Imprison in the Moon. I would like to see it. I think that Mono Blue Tron is a really good deck that, unfortunately, just if you make a mistake, you lose. And you need to be really good at that deck to do well with it. But most of the people that are really good with it do
pretty well.
I mean, my only actual anecdote is, like, I tested it for a bit. It was less than I'd like it to be. Another friend tested it for a little bit. It was under... But then we played it together, and we did really well with it because we were both thinking through it and were, like, be able to come up with these lines, like, 5 turns down the way.
Yep.
So, I think it's just a deck that you really need to know what's going on in that one and practice it a lot.
Coleman finds himself some white mana.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like he's going to play a Wall.
So... We're able to fix that a little bit. The Demonic Pact is going to be okay, but otherwise, I think he's just kind of looking for this. The Stinkweed Imp is not going to be great as a dredger, so I think he's looking at it mostly as a card to just.
It's a 20-turn clock.
Pretty much. Though he
start doing this some work.
He does have the Scape Shift in hand, and that's not bad.
Well, there's a pact.
I like his style. I mean, a Druid Counter spell, I guess. Probably for the best, even that. Like Coleman may have just
brought in some counter spells.
It's possible that Coleman just saved David, because he don't think that
he doesn't have a way to get rid of it again.
Yep. But otherwise, Cohen does have the ability to get this Faithless Looting pretty soon. If I'm David, I think next turn I'd be cracking this Faithless Looting if I ever intend to use it.
Coleman's hand is a lot of lands.
Interesting for a deck that started off not having any access to white, though. So
he has 2 more islands in his hand.
Does he really?
Yeah.
Wow. Lash Curve, that sounds pretty sweet, actually. Esper Charm is a sweet card. That just doesn't really have a home. Though it sounds like you got one for it. Hello to the 73 people out there. My name's TJ.
I'm Bryce.
We're streaming from Geek Fortress in Snohomish, Washington, watching Game 2 in Round 1. Harmless Coil, basically Harmless offering an Immortal Coil in like a Scape Shift shell. It's all kinds of weird happening here. Going up against Blue-White Birdemic, which is basically Revlark and Mold Drifter, the blue-white, like, let's beat aggro control deck.
Yep.
Both of them pretty interesting. Coleman basically on a blue-white value deck. Any elves tonight?
Jacob Anderson is out there.
Excellent, so we should have elves as well. NBCA, I have seen that Waffletop has been doing well.
Siriu, it is going well. How about yourself?
Siriu, you're a rock star. Thanks for joining us. And Linifer, I didn't even see that it was someone who I don't actually get to see. I don't think that's brand new. But Linifer, if you're brand new, welcome. If you're just joining us again, I don't see your name too often, welcome back. But yes, we can totally try and get elves for you. It's awesome having you. I didn't even see that that was a name that I'm not like super familiar with. How exciting. Okay. So
that's true. You can't take Waffletop's results at face value because he's just very good at playing the decks that he plays.
Waffletop is pretty good. Waffle, hey, you're brand new. Well, welcome. It's great having you. I hope that you enjoy it. We do this 4 times a week. Standard on Mondays at 6:30 Pacific time. Modern every Wednesday and every Saturday. 7 o'clock Wednesday, 6 o'clock Saturday, and Legacy every Friday at 7:30. Okay. Woo! There we go. Flashing it back. Finally using that one before. See, that strikes me as a little bit interesting. Cracks it, and I think I might have rather waited. Nah, you're going to end up... It's the guaranteed card no matter what. Takes a look at another Faithless Looting and a land.
He's got Harmless Offering in his hand.
Ooh, I like this.
Looks like he's going to get rid of one of them.
I like the idea of maybe waiting a little bit, dropping down a land, and making sure that you can fight through a
mana leak?
Yeah.
Yeah, Coleman does have another mana leak in hand. Here's another Faithless Looting.
So, oh man, this is sweet. Black Eye Scare, it's great to see you, and this is pretty interesting.
So David cannot win with Immortal Coil with this relic on the field.
Ab4233, I look forward to seeing you more often. It's great having you. Chaos, we honestly don't know, but I'm doing well. But it's like Scape Shift meets Donate.
It's Scape Shift meets the Donate combo.
Yeah, but it's also running Immortal Coil as the main Donate target.
Because why not?
Because why not? Man.
Because David likes to take 2 decks and go,
Oh, man. Vagabond, I'm glad that you did. Or hopefully it's a sweet deck. We have been working on a standard deck as well recently. It wins through either Scape Shift.
David just got rid of his other...
I mean, he doesn't have any of the things to really, like, pitch it with
right now.
Yeah,
it looks like he's planning on just casting Scape Shift. No, he discarded that too.
Yep. So I think...
Jeez.
He's got the Abrupt Decay, so he can try and take down something. But David is missing a lot of his win conditions and just kind of getting work in with the Stinkweed Imp. I'm a little bit thrown off by how many of these cards that he's putting away. Any Bandle Eldrazi players tonight? Is anyone borrowing yours?
Nope, nobody asked.
Okay. Hey, Josh AE, I do have to ask, and this might be because I've been spending too much time on a particular subreddit, but is the AE for After Effects? I've been spending a lot of time on high-quality GIFs.
I like that you said GIFs.
Thank you. It really bogles the mind, right? So,
Yay! You're saying things the way that I say them right now.
Yeah. Hey, Grinning Demon, it's good to see you again. Any infect?
There might be an infect.
FIFA Lover Xbox 360. What a sweet name. Oh, okay. That's pretty sweet. Josh, very cool. But yeah, I think there might be some infect out there. It's likely.
Yeah, I think there's at least one deck out there.
I'm really curious as to what David can go. Juicy Jace, you might be spending a decent... What a great name. You might be spending some time on the same subreddit as me. So, we are looking at David, who has, like, gotten rid of all of his win conditions. Sliphorn! Sliphorn!
Decay, your relic of progenitus.
Thanks for hitting that follow button. It was really cool being able to play some Popper with you. I assume that it's the same Sliphorn. That was exciting for me.
Abrupt Decay, your relic. That's
I'm really
super interesting.
I'm really thrown off by this. Trying to get the graveyard cleared out. He does still have some things going on with it. We're gonna go for a Restoration Angel to draw
the Moldrifter.
Draw 2, and then nice, the solid let's get 2 lands play.
Hit your Valakut. Pop the relic.
Right. Okay, so we go for that one, just getting rid of the relics to prevent like a Splendid Reclamation win there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do we feel like Logic Knot is super underrated? Not many cards you can delve in Modern except for Tasigur. No one plays Logic Knot. I like Logic Knot.
Logic Knot is interesting.
I would never play it as more than a one-of, but it
Yep.
needs to be in a deck that is running kind of light on probably 3-color.
It goes in a
because you
control
need
deck.
a lot of fetch lands.
It goes in a control deck.
Yeah. I like it as a one-of.
That's its only place. I've run it several times as a one-of in Jeskai Control when it was the more control version. Right now, with Jeskai being Jeskai Nahiri, it doesn't really want that kind of a counterspell.
Yep.
So.
And also, you just got to be careful about Snapcaster. So normally you want to be going for your lands. But it's basically a build your own mana leak in a lot of cases. And so you need to make sure that it's in a situation in which you'll usually be getting more than mana leak out of it. Which is, I think, probably the biggest issue.
Coleman holding off from attacking this lovely Stinkweed imp and just keeping him back.
Yeah.
David with 2 lands.
Yeah, and I think that part of this might have been David getting a little bit too aggressive with what he was pitching with his Faithless Looting.
And he was getting rid of a lot of cards that would have
It struck me as...
maybe done things.
Yeah, and I'm sure he'll explain his thought process to me later because he'll be watching this. But I think that what he might have been doing was looking at what he was drawing and deciding that he needed those answers for what Cullen was doing and ended up getting rid of his win conditions for it. And I think what he wanted to do was really make sure that he could hold on to at least some of those. So, I'm not entirely sure. Alright. Outside of Island, all lands that can make you, on turn 1, require life loss? I don't think the Darkslick Shores?
Darkslick Shores, Seachrome Coast, those don't.
Yeah. The Merfolk one?
Merfolk one,
And the
Wonderwine
Fairy
Hub. And Secluded Glen.
So,
that's it.
this is from Jeskai Nahiri to Esper Control, because you get beaten by... You have Thopter decks in your...
He's running it in addition to Hallowed Fountain, Josh.
That's awesome. That is super sweet. And yeah, he is running both of them, because it's just a blue-white deck. Oh, for Esper Control itself? Are we talking about Esper Control? Okay. Okay, I just saw the one comment itself.
Yep.
That makes sense then. I get it.
Block your Moldrifter.
Yay.
That means David's going to be able to start dredging.
True. And he did get rid of that one, so maybe that's been his intent for a while now. Is to start going for this dredge.
Moldrifter is going to bring back... Looks to be
That's
Aven.
that's the Aven that when it leaves... hold on, I gotta look it up.
Aven Rift something?
Yeah. Rift Sweeper? No.
No.
Dang it. Let's see here. It is the Aven
Rift Watcher.
Rift Watcher that you gain 2 life when it enters or leaves. Man, that one's super annoying. Super annoying. The flying 2/3 and get with it. Fair enough. Fair enough. Always talking about Esper Control. Doesn't have any red in it. I don't know. Snap Bolt's pretty good. I'll toss that in there.
Wow. Lash Curve is having some issues typing.
You know, mobile keyboard will get you. It'll get you. Otherwise, Copeland's board pretty down at this point, and now that David doesn't have a whole lot of way to prevent that pressure being dealt, then it's gonna slow down significantly. So I'm expecting a dredge from David next turn because he's got a land in hand. He needs to start getting something going on there.
Yeah.
But even then, you replay it out. You hold it off for a turn.
This is modern Rufus.
Rufus, this is actually standard or modern.
But the donate combo is technically in standard. You can use Harmless Offering and Demonic Pact in standard.
Even among modern, this isn't standard. Huh? Huh?
I am disappointed, TJ. I am disappointed.
I know. Yeah, it's hard to picture what David can do here. I guess he could top deck Escape Shift. That'd be good, right? That's definitely not bad.
And David just gonna give it up here.
Yeah, just didn't go the way that we were looking, and I think this deck, not a whole lot of testing. Started off basically at the conceptual stage, and that's where it ended up.
Yep.
And I think it might have been just going a little bit too many directions.
I think David's trying to do too many things, like usual.
I mean, like, that's never a bad thing. That's basically with this entire stream is us trying to do too many things.
That's fair.
Alright, Len's headed up and have some fun. You're going to find us another match. We've got 20 minutes to go. See you there. Hello everybody, and thank you for joining. My name's TJ. I apparently need a haircut, and you're watching us streaming from Geek Fortress in Snohomish, Washington. We do this 4 times a week, 1, 2, 3, 4. Every Monday at 6:30 we stream Standard Pacific Time. Every Wednesday and Saturday we stream Modern. Wednesdays at 7, Saturdays at 6, which was just about 40 minutes ago, give or take. And every Friday at 7:30 we stream Legacy. It's always a solid time, it's a good time, it's a rock and roll time. And I can't wait to keep doing it. Next week I will be out. If any of you happen to live in the Southern California area, let me know, because I'll be in Fullerton next Friday looking to do an F&M. If you happen to have an LGS near you and you happen to live in that area that is a reasonable driving distance, I'd love to come down, do an F&M, maybe some Modern, something like that. Linnifer, thank you so much for hitting that follow button. It's your first time joining us. We are going to try and get O's for you. And as always, any questions, any comments, any feedback, really like having an active chat and a friendly chat, and the Fortnites have been absolutely, possibly the most friendly and helpful group that I've ever seen in a Twitch chat. So thank you all of you for being a part of that, and welcome, and I hope that you enjoy being a part of it. Thopter Sword is actually better than people give it credit for. I like it a lot, but it's hard to find a deck in which it really works together. But yeah, I like the Thopter Sword a lot.
All right, we don't have anything right now. Everybody's in a game. Coleman's gonna keep an eye out.
Excellent. So we're going to try and get into that one.
Pretty small crowd out there tonight.
Which means that we can also let you all know that we've got some other fun things coming up. A week from now. Well, just over a week now. A week and a day from now, we are going to be streaming the Modern Preliminary Pro Tour Qualifier here at Geek Fortress. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be Sunday. Sunday?
Sunday.
Not like the ice cream. It's like the day.
Sunday.
Make sure that you get here at noon Pacific time. I don't know what time it is for you out there, but that's about 6 hours and 40 minutes ago, a week and a day from now. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be a hip-hoppin' in time. It's going to be a hootenanny.
A hootenanny?
A rigmarole.
Why are you using so many weird words?
I don't know. I like weird words. They're kind of fun. They really make me feel like I'm living. So, you can join us there. It's going to be I would guess 5 rounds of Modern, followed up by a top 8. That's going to be like 8 hours of streaming. It's going to be amazing and exciting and all kinds of fun. I believe that you are going to be hanging out for the early part of the day.
Beginning of it, yep.
Because I'll be flying in that morning from California, and then I'll be jumping in for the afternoon section. How do I feel knowing that I was your 3,000th follower last night to Tim Smash Gilmore? It's very exciting. I honestly don't fully know how to like handle it because we weren't really expecting to hit that point too far close a bit soon. But we're working out what we're going to be doing. We've got all kinds of ideas. So far being mulled over is 1, an Airband music video. 2, a bunch of signing of cards and sending them out. 3, doing some kind of fun stuff. 4, a mod or a host tournament that we could do. Though we might do that one for the 1 year. We've got all kinds of ideas. If you have ideas of what you would like us to do for getting to 3,000 followers, we need some kind of celebration, and we're going to. We just need to figure out exactly what we want to do with it. But thank you for being part of it. It's awesome. Woo! Let's get there.
Woo.
Woo!
So David, apparently his out on that last turn was having the land in hand that he had, playing that, and he needed to draw the Griselbrand that he sided in.
Nice. Very cool.
That was his out.
Kane 2000, looking forward to the stream all week. Well, we did just see Harmless Offering not go too well, but it's awesome having you, Kane. I'm glad that you're looking forward to it. I've been looking forward to this as well. Give away 3,000 Stormcrows. I'm not sure if I can afford that many, Sneaky Cheeky, but I like the thought process there. The Fireman Hat? I love the Fireman Hat. I'm not sure what you're asking about it, but it's in my car right now.
I think they're asking you to sign the Fireman Hat and send it out.
Sign the Fireman Hat and send it out?
That's what it looks like.
I would do it. It's going to be like a 3-ounce package. It's going to be like half the weight of the cardboard box I put it into.
Perfect. That's the best way to do things. Most of the way to this package is the box and the packaging.
Like, they're going to be like, so, did you forget to put the thing in the box? No. No, we'll just take it.
Nope, here you go.
Okay. Let's see here. What else have we got? Got lucky in that match? Man, you played big things and whatnot. Sign a Tybalt, then eat it? Unlikely. You think Chalice is very underrated in Modern? Can TJ imagine people casting it for 1? I've done it.
What are you doing?
I found a drill again.
Why? Why'd you find a drill?
I don't know. It was here. But Chalice in Modern, I think...
Because we're building to a bigger viewer base?
Wow. You know what? I'd say that you nailed it, but this is going to be way more structurally sound. So... Can I imagine people casting Chalice for 1? Sure, but they do it on turn 2, and that's the biggest issue, is that there's no super fast mana apart from Simian Spirit Guide. And that's the biggest issue that I see with it. Can it happen? Sure. Have I seen people do it? Yes. Have I seen people use Chalice? Well, sure. I played it in Affinity for a bit, actually. It was all kinds of fun. But the problem is that you don't have Ancient Tomb, you don't have City of Traders, you don't have any of these.
You don't have lots of things.
Yeah, you don't have, you know, the Chrome Mox.
Yeah, you don't have a consistent turn 1 Chalice for 1.
Exactly. So that's the biggest issue. Nonetheless, I do really like it. I have to write Fragile in the box. Love it. Do we have Bantel Eldrazi in the room, K-Marky? Looks like the answer is no. Though I will say that we have to get you out there maybe next Wednesday, something like that. Have some Bantel Eldrazi on the stream, see what we can do.
See what I can do.
If these puns are indicative of the quality of the stream, then you think that we're screwed. Oh, well done. No, see, that's super clever. Oh, that's really good.
It's also hurtful.
Also, interestingly enough, a new set came out, but we did not have a rotation. This is all kinds of fun. Man, this is a fun little bit. We should do this more often. Quality. TJ, drill all the Chalice in the store for you? Probably shouldn't. I don't think I can afford to replace them. I do like Lightning Bolt, however. Kenny Koo, it's great to see you.
Lightning Bolt?
I am a big fan of it, yeah. Kenny Koo, it's great to see you.
That rhymes.
We're having fun, doing all kinds of fun stuff, and I found power tools, which is kind of what what apparently the theme of the day is. Also, Gracie L, that's fair. Hopefully we can get you back. I decided to start naming things. Josh AE, thank you so much for hitting that follow button. Now we do have Modern with the Moon as our we named it for that. David came up with it because Eldritch Moon, this is release weekend. This is release weekend.
Release weekend.
Release the Kraken.
Release the Kraken?
Yes. Either way, it's all kinds of fun.
It is.
Is David or is Coleman out there?
Coleman?
Coleman.
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 What a fun little bit. Yay! Also, another fun fact. Another fun fact. Are we doing as far as getting another match?
The one person left is in game 3.
So we might be heading into it. Whoa, are we on 5 rounds tonight?
4 rounds.
Yeah,
really?
It's a small crowd.
What is going on?
I don't know, but there's some guy going off with Eldritch Evolution. And
we've got an Eldritch Evolution out there?
Yeah, he's playing Eldritch Evolution.
Black Green Infect.
Black Green Infect.
What?
Yeah.
That's super cool.
Something interesting.
Josh, I appreciate you hitting that follow button.
It's something.
The last game's just finishing up.
Last game's just finishing up.
Right.
Perfect. That means that we'll have the next round.
Bryce is like, you like Lightning Bolt? Sounds like DJ likes Bryce's crush and Bryce is suppressed. JB Red Phoenix, it's
You're
great to see
probably
you.
not wrong, Lash Curve.
Format, we are playing Modern today. Modern with the new Eldritch Moon. We've got all kinds of new brews apparently out there, and I can't wait to hear about Red Green Tron crushing all of them.
It's true.
Ah, man, it's going to be sweet, but nonetheless, it's awesome. And if you were going to GP Portland, have we got news for you? One, we've got like 5 people, I think, now. Five?
Yeah.
5 or 6? Either way, actually, a
several.
lot of people in the store are kind of like interested and trying to
Planning
do
on
their
going.
best to help out. But we're all going to be going to GP Portland. We're even putting together a standard deck for it, which is something that I haven't done since Journey into Next. No, wait, I did Origins. I did just the game day of Origins. But it's going to be awesome. It's going to be sweet. It's going to be a rockin' time. If you're going to GP Portland as well, remember to come join us for some delicious, delicious pizza on the Friday just before it on the 12th at, oh, I don't know, somewhere in the 6-7 range. We'll keep more details going forward. And if you are interested in those details, be sure to follow at Red Baron MTG, where I can keep you updated. It's going to be sweet, but I'm really excited about it. Hopefully you are going to have
all the way down.
fun. Okay, what card from the new set is positioned to break into Modern? You've heard about Spirit Tribal. I'm not entirely sure. I think Bedlam Reveler will get tested. I think
Bedlam
Spellcaller
Reveler might have a
will get
shot.
tested. The new Hymn-to-Talk might get tested. There's a lot of cards that
Eldritch
might.
Evolution might make it. Harmless Offering might make it.
Yeah, and nothing was like... Actually, Liliana is probably good enough to be tested as well.
Next round's getting put up, so I will grab some cards.
Alright. Let's see, what else have we got? Anyone running Spell Quellers? There might be. I know that some people were getting them. Bedlam Reveler, we actually saw in Legacy last night. I'm not sure if we have any in the room tonight, however. Rattle Chain spiked to $4. Man, that is crazy. The Coleman brand drill... Oh. Well, there we go. Your LGS runs Modern on Thursday, so you haven't been able to test yet, but you try to play Elder Deep Fiend and Bantel Drazi. That, actually, I do like that a lot. The ability to... That's a really good card. I look forward to and keep you updated on how your testing goes with that. But yeah, there are all kinds of sweet cards in the set as to what's actually going to break into it. I've even seen some people looking to test out Tameo in Modern. Personally, I don't think it'll break in too well because the colors might be a little bit too restrictive. But nonetheless, it's going to... Cruelest of Ultimatums. I don't think there's any Cruel Control today, unfortunately. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Alrighty.
We can try, though.
So,
Try, though.
facing the wall
Right.
is Max Spear, I believe is his name.
Yes.
And he is on Eldritch Infect.
Okay,
The
so we
Eldritch
can...
Evolution Infect deck.
Okay. I like this. Going up
And he is
against...
playing against Dylan. Dylan Judd,
Who is on Merfolk?
who's on Merfolk.
Okay. Interesting. So, Merfolk versus Eldritch Infect. This is a black-green version,
Black
right?
Green. It is running Hierarch, I believe, so that you can go with the turn 1 Hierarch, turn 2 Eldritch Evolution into a Phyrexian Crusader if you want to.
Okay. This should be a fairly interesting match, actually, because it kind of depends on how he goes about this Eldritch Infect. I'm really curious as to what he's actually going to be going Eldritch into consistently. But there's definitely a lot of potential in this one. Can it get through the Merfolk, however? Some of that hand disruption might be okay against it. A turn 1 taking down something like an Aether Vial. Needs to be really careful about just the amount of blockers that Dylan can produce, because this deck doesn't really have the same access to the unblockability.
Yeah, it doesn't have like flyers or. I mean, it might play Plague Stinger.
You could Eldritch Evolution your Ink Moth. That'd be pretty sweet.
Go get a blighted agent that you can't cast.
Exactly. So I don't know. This has got some interesting things going on with it. I'll be curious to see just how it goes about. But I think just initially, my edge is going to go to Merfolk. But I think a lot of that just has to do with knowing what's actually in that deck.
Yeah, I agree.
So let's head on down, have a good time, and let's see another one of these new cards getting played. Alright, so we are getting ready here, and someone should play Quicken Supreme Verdict, Sphinx's Revelation, Elixir of Immortality. The problem is that you didn't actually run Quicken back in RTR Standard.
Yeah, you did.
No. No, you
It
didn't.
played Quicken Verdict. The blue-white control deck played it.
At the very end? I never ran into the...
So it was the
actually,
blue-white
no, I
control deck
remember
that
one.
was
I just never
during
liked it.
Theros Return to Ravnica.
Mm-hmm.
So
I just never liked that one. I didn't like the
So
quicken
good,
it.
though.
I was on burn. I was happy to play against that deck.
down to 17 goes Max.
So, starting off with
And
Glistener Elf. The sweet promo Glistener Elf 2. Absolutely. Verding Cryptic and Eldritch Evolution into Putrefex. I like that. That sounds sweet. The Infect Fireball.
That's so sweet.
And a Tidebender Mage.
Tidebender
Really
Mage
good.
taps down Glistener Elf. Ouch.
That's quite good. So, that's, yeah.
Okay, so this looks like it's Sultai because he is running Blighted Agent.
Is he?
It's the front card in his hand down here.
Okay. Okay.
Alright, here's a fetch. Probably gonna go get a breeding pool.
So
We
if
can
we go
cast
for the
this
Breeding
Blighted
Pool, you can go for the Blighted Agent. Interestingly enough, the Eldritch Evolution can eventually actually turn this Glistener Elf into something else.
Mm-hmm.
But actually, if he is running Blighted Agent, then all of a sudden I'm thinking that this deck has got some decent potential in it, as far as beating this Merfolk deck. Because Dylan runs so little actual removal, though Phantasmal Image in hand, he can just copy down the Tidebender Mage and tap down... Oh no, but
He
it's
can't
blue.
tap
It's
Blighted
red or,
Agent.
it's red or
Yeah,
green.
it's red or
correct?
green.
So it doesn't get that opportunity. So Dylan needing to come up with some sort of
Curse
removal,
Catcher.
has the Curse Catcher, has some Lord of or Master of the Pearl Trident, but I don't think he has any actual way to get in the way of this Blind Agent just yet. So
So I think you gotta just play the Master and attack for 3 and just... Your
gotta race.
opponent is fetched and shocked twice. You gotta start going.
yeah, and 3 is going to be enough, especially playing out another one next turn. You've got a really solid clock. I mean, probably 3 turns with a swing for 3 into a swing for 7 next turn.
Yep. The only downside is not deploying this Curse Catcher means that it's very possible that Max can just kill you next turn.
Absolutely. Ooh, and we're going for the Silvergill Adept, maybe to try and get a land into a Curse Catcher. This is
Show
a
you my Curse
risky
Catcher.
play.
Come on.
Do we get to live the dream? We do not. A risky play from Dylan there, actually.
You could definitely do something pod style with Eldritch Evolution, but it's one of those things where it's got the downside of Remand being pretty widely played still.
I think that's
and
just
it
the problem with the spell.
hurts.
If you're going to play it, I do like the value shell.
Yep.
I don't think that going for the combo is going to be
Because
great
sacking like a
about it.
Kitchen Finks
Uh,
don't really lose much.
we honestly don't know what the Eldritch Evolution is here for, actually.
The Eldritch Evolution looks like it's just for getting to bigger things. I don't
Infect
know
creatures?
for sure.
But
It fills your graveyard for Delve, I guess.
should be in... Yeah. I'll be curious. I'm not sure if I see too many pump spells in hand. I think I might see another Glistener Elf in there. But we are going for the swing for 1,
Yep.
and now we find out if we win. Kicked Vines of Astwood, so this is
Kick
going to be
Vines.
5 Infect.
Well, Max is saying, I'm going to get you probably next turn.
You could do Skitherix.
You could just go get Skithrix. That is true. Putrefax is one as well.
Interesting. I really want to see him play out a Skitherix. So bad.
Double Curse Catcher.
Nice.
That's a little gross.
I mean, if he's got another... I think he has another Vines of Astrid in hand. Unfortunately, that doesn't actually stop him at all.
Attack for 4. I am surprised that the Tidebender Mage didn't attack last turn.
Agreed. And I'm not sure why you wouldn't go for any kind of attack, because if he blocks with the Blind Agent, that's fine. Even if it survives by using the pump spell, again, that's fine.
So Max needs a Might of Old Crozet here.
Might of Old Crows would be solid. Vines of Astwood would be not quite... Oh,
It will be good enough now that he's drawn a land.
Yep. Play down the land, go for it. We also do have a Gitaxian Probe that you can play just to try and bait him
Just
into
to-
a little bit more.
Yep.
I'd be okay with going that way. You can even draw into the Become Immense, really. That's not a bad spell.
No. I mean, I've heard it's okay. It's like +6/+6 for 1 mana most of the time. It's fine.
Yeah, which is, I think, probably just a little
Okay,
bit
here's
worse
an
than
attack,
Lightning Bolt.
and we're going to Vines it.
Double
what you
Curse
got?
Catcher. Sack the Curse Catchers. Make him have it.
Make him pay the mana.
Make him pay.
Make him pay. And that's going to be 10 poison.
Ooh. So, looks like a pretty quick win there for Max, going basically through the Infect game plan of play down an unblockable thing, and prey
hit
upon the
you
fact
with it.
that Dylan has almost no actual main board interaction.
Yep.
I mean, that's pretty good. Yeah, the evolution does turn into Blind Agent. That was one thing that we were thinking about. Also, 13th Fox.
Oh my god.
I'm pretty sure it's been a long time since it feels like it's been a while. So welcome back, but I feel like it's been a while.
Dylan just brought in. He's bringing in 3 gut shots and 2 psionic blasts.
Yeah, he has got removal. He has more removal than you would expect a Merfolk deck to have.
Yeah.
And personally, I'm not a big fan of the psionic blasts in there, but
it's fine for Infect.
But it's fine when you've got Infect.
Will deck list be posted? We will see.
In Control, will deck list be posted? We used to post a lot more of them. Recently, we've been trying to focus on the other projects, like getting the Twitch partnership online, trying to get some other giveaways, trying to get some other like features that we've got going online. So it's tricky. I can't promise anything right now, but if you're looking for the Eldritch Infect, we can ask and see if we can, but it's hard to find the time for it.
Kenny-Ku, I agree. I want to go back to the days of the Jeskai control at that time. That was lovely. Yeah. I loved those days.
Innistrad Return to I actually really liked Return to Ravnica Theros standard. I know that a lot of people didn't, but I loved it.
Mono Black was just so annoying.
Lash Curve, what are our favorite standard decks of all time?
Mine is definitely the Blue-White Red control deck from the Innistrad Return to Ravnica standard season.
Mine was Boros Burn from Born of the Gods, Journey into Nyx. It was...
There you go.
It was really good. It was a lot of fun to play.
Best standard ever? Oh, Blue-White Delver was the best standard ever? Blue-White Delver was very good.
Mm-hmm. Would it be possible to do Eldritch in Green-White Haypairs? Probably. I could see that happening. It's sorcery, which makes it a little bit iffy in that deck, which tries to go off of Aether Vial when it can, but I could really get... Like, doing that with a Voice of Resurgence, getting the token and grabbing something else could be really solid.
Mm-hmm.
I like that a lot. And then if they are going to counter it, I guess no, you actually don't get the token because you sacrificed it as part of the cost, right? Yeah. So, nonetheless, you get the token, and maybe you can dig into an answer. I could get behind it. So, deck list of spicy new techs.
You get the token off of Voice. Yeah. It's whenever it dies. Sacrificing it as it dies.
I meant one for if they counter the Eldritch Evolution as well.
Oh, yeah. No, you don't get another one.
Yeah. We can do our best in Control, and I do like the idea of it. It's just hard to find the time, and they all take a surprising amount of time to enter. When we were doing it a lot more, the bit of free time that I had, it was like spending, I don't know, an hour a day doing like deck lists.
Yeah.
It was weird. Or it was like spending an hour 4 times a week to just do deck lists.
Put deck lists in, yeah.
So
Turn 1 Curse Catcher.
Kigropa, it's great to see you. Welcome back. It's awesome having you. K Markey, if you ever read the MTG Salvation primer for just Triskaidekaphobia, that was actually put together by David Bradbury, so I'm sure he'll eventually go to the tree as well.
I would bet that he's going to bring Triskaidekaphobia to the front of our modern scene.
Motec Max, welcome. It's awesome having you. Congratulations on top 8ing your PPTQ. That's actually awesome. With Merfolk, too. Very cool deck. Mm-hmm. Personally, I prefer the Mono Blue, but the White Splash has got a lot going on for it.
I think the White Splash is interesting right now because of the fact that you can now run Spell Queller in your sideboard for people who run Supreme Verdict.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's got some merits.
So, the Curse Catcher going in just for one. I mean, yeah. If they want to block it, that's fine. That is more than fine by me. Otherwise, running a Birds of Paradise in this deck strikes me as just a little bit unusual.
Are we about to see Eldritch Evolution? Dylan answering the phone offline, of course.
Of course. You gotta do what you gotta do.
Alright. Eldritch Evolution probably would be a bad plan here.
For In Control, for part of that being sounding like too much time, a decent amount of that time was also just tracking down all the various deck lists that people requested. Because it was basically, I'd get several requests each stream for different deck lists.
Hey, can I get your list? Hey, can I get your list?
Yep.
And then they'd have to get back to you with their list, and it was a lot of work.
Yep. Alright. There we go.
Here's a Glistener Elf.
So we have the Glistener Elf. Do we have the... Ooh, now the Birds of Paradise is active. We can see a Vines here to protect it. Dylan going down to 18 to cast this. he doesn't have a whole lot of other options in hand, so if Max can actually get it to survive this, he does have the 2 mana. Most of his cards that would protect it will protect it.
Let it die.
He does have another one in hand, though.
Okay.
So maybe just letting that happen once you drop it down next turn. In Control, thank you so much for hitting that follow button. Hey! I legit... Thanks, In Control. You're a rock star. I really look forward to interacting with you more in the future. Okay.
Dark Blast. What just happened? You did what now?
Whoa. I'm so thrilled right now. So, Dark Blast cut it down. Just a thought, could we get the person to lay out the deck and then tweet out a picture for Max Spear? That is not a bad day.
We will see what we can get. We will see if we can get him to do that.
I can work on that one. So if you do want to follow at Red Baron MTG, I will talk to Max. I will see if that's something that we can do, or just see if Max wants to send me a picture or something like that, and maybe I can get something like that going on. What's the worst? First of all, Lash Curve. I'm not gonna personally answer that one until you get my name right. What's your
My
worst
card speculations ever? Jeez, I don't know. I misread. I
thought Nahiri would
misevaluate
be-
cards all the time.
I
That
thought
just
Nahiri would
happens.
be garbage.
Like, that's part of playing Magic. You're just gonna misevaluate cards sometimes.
All the time. To Juggernaut, hello, it's good to see you. I'm not sure who Charles is, but it's awesome having you. Man, this is a Dark Blast in Infect, probably out of the sideboard. I have to think
Yeah,
that's
I
out of the
can't
sideboard.
imagine this is in the main deck.
But still, this is absolutely sweet. I mean, you take down a lot of the cards that can get in the way. Days Undoing, I did call that one being bad. So I felt good about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things that ends the turn, kind of hurts.
Yep.
So,
Alright,
here's
so
a Noble Hierarch. Get in there with the bird.
There-
Get in there with the bird.
interestingly enough, there aren't a whole lot of cards that I've seen and decided, yeah, this card is going to be busted. I usually test before I say anything.
Probably better
because I
just
don't want
activating Moth and attack, right? I'd like to get him in there with the bird, but Ink Moth attack for 2 poison seems decent.
I really prefer
Mutagenic
this
Growth.
way of going about it.
Gonna remand it.
It fills the graveyard for... Actually, that's true. Remand to become immense, or Mutagenic Growth is a little bit of an interesting choice. But I guess it worked. I guess it worked. Told you guys not to pick
I
up...
think Dylan's at 2 poison, not max.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Told buddies not to pick up Jace Venge Prodigy. To be honest, that is what the card is. There's a reason why it's gone so much farther down. Unless you were talking about Standard, then they definitely should have gotten it for Standard.
Fat Sad Dragon. That's a name.
JB Red Phoenix, have a good night.
1 or 2 Bedlam Reveler in Modern Burn, TJ.
I don't like it, but I am going to do a tiny bit of testing into it. But I'm not a fan. Usually, that means that I've cast 6 instants or sorceries. I'd rather just have the 7th one and deal 20 damage. If it's going to cost 2, and I don't want to pay 4 for it, I don't want to pay 3, but it'll usually be filling the spot of the spell that would have killed them. To try and draw me into maybe another 3.
Here's 3. This looks like Viridian Corruptor. Okay.
This is delicious.
That's gonna get just taken out real quick.
Man, Dylan is doing a great job just protecting his life total right now. The Shadow Titan, I'm not quite sure where you could go for that one. Lash Curve, Rune Halo is a sweet card. But yeah, really, I like Reveler a lot better in Delver. Something like maybe a reason to be on just straight blue-red Delver.
I don't like things like Monastery Swift Spear and those things in Delver decks all that often. I think that they...
Prowess deck is what you're thinking
Yeah,
of?
if you're trying to play a Prowess deck, that's different. Delver is not quite the deck where you want that.
And it also helps out because you want proactive things and Delver runs so many reactive spells.
Yep, exactly. Delver is planning on landing a Delver and protecting it, whereas a Prowess deck is planning on playing a couple of guys and then casting things to pump them.
Look at this hand of double blue spells, a Dismember, and Dylan with a Mutavault and an island.
Gut shot.
We have the other gut shot with the Dismember up, so Max gets to... I mean, if he chooses to fight over this, he needs to be prepared to fight twice over it.
Yep.
It may not be the worst idea to do so, however.
Well, we know he has the mutagenic.
Get beyond that one. It costs him very little to do that, paying for that. Still has 3 mana, still up. Let's see. You lost in the finals. Let's see. You lost to Banto Eldrazi. You were playing Soul Sisters. That's awesome. I don't like Soul Sisters, like playing against it, but the deck itself is so sweet
Here's the
conceptually.
Dismember. And looks
Okay.
like that's going to work.
I can get, if he's got the last infect creature in hand, ripping both of those out of hand is not a bad way to go about
He's got
this.
an Eldritch Evolution.
What is happening?
Okay. Go get a Phyrexian Crusader,
Oh, what is happening?
Phyrexian Crusader? Or just go get a Blighted Agent. That's pretty good too.
Oh, man.
Oh, another Dismember? Jeez, Dylan.
At this point, I am so unconcerned. Dylan is
Dylan's
at
at
3.
3.
Dylan is at 3 and 2 infect.
Beatdown.
You are better off just going for regular damage at this point.
Oh,
You would-
Dylan drew his other blue source.
It doesn't even matter at this point. Like, Max has got so much potential to get
I
through
think
this.
Max has another Eldritch Evolution.
That is...
Eldritch Evolution. I'm gonna sacrifice this guy. I'm gonna go get another Blighted Agent. Go.
Flashcraft, that is the store owner. Oh my goodness. So we go for the sacrifice. The weirdest
Oh
thing
yeah,
is
the
that...
Eldritch Evolutions are exiled, I guess.
Yeah, they are. Oh my goodness.
Eldritch Evolution exiles itself, right? What? Eldritch Evolution exiles
Oh
itself.
my... Oh my goodness. This is sweet. I love it.
Aragon Shade Slayer, this is Eldritch Infect, where it's playing Eldritch Evolution and Infect creatures. There you go.
Oh, man. Converted mana cost X or less. Give a wisdom.
Yeah, he can definitely get it by sacrificing 1 drop.
Yep.
It's X or less, where X is 2+.
Oh, man. That
So
is...
you can get a 3 or lower.
That is sweet.
Well, there's Blighted Agent. Time to get to work. Wow.
Cruelest of ultimatums. I do not think that it makes the sword seem playable. Unfortunately, I don't like Sigarda's 8 as a card. So a Blighted Agent coming down. The weirdest thing is that he has got 8 damage to deal now against an opponent at 3. I mean, that can't feel
Crazy
good.
me Big B. Thanks for the follow button.
Hi, it's great to have you. I hope you're enjoying it. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. Any comments, questions, feedback, anything like that, always welcome. My name's TJ.
I'm Bryce.
We're streaming from Geek Fortress in Snohomish, Washington, having a blast doing it, and we do it 4 times a week.
Go ahead, Whirly. You're
We
good.
allow it.
An attack for 3. Down to 9 goes Max.
It's so weird that his opponent is at 3, and Max needs to deal 8 damage right now.
Uh-huh.
So... Rafi Fonzie! Hello. Welcome for joining us. It's awesome having you. This is pretty exciting.
It's us.
Wait, I'm really
Or
confused
it's
now.
TJ. He said it's you.
I don't know. I'm clicking it.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh. Jeez.
Okay. Gotcha. Kellery 45, thank you so much.
We're
Looks like
getting
we've got a
chain
little
lightning.
bit of a chain lightning. Thank you to everybody for joining. We recently broke the 3,000 mark,
Poison.
and we are base 4. Thank you so much. This is the coolest thing right now. I love these chain lightnings. Thank you for hitting that follow button. Thank you for joining us, joining the Fortnites. It's all kinds of amazing. Oh,
Today's flavor text challenge. Guess that card by its flavor text. I mean,
that didn't go well.
there's a hole in your plan. That would be Spell Pierce.
No, that's a hole in your boat.
No, there's a hole in your plan. Is the flavor text of Spell Pierce?
Man.
I play enough spell pierces.
Hey, what's up, Ton? It's good to have you. Thank you so much for joining us. And I look forward to interacting with you more in the future. But yeah, this is really exciting for me. Thank you for the compliment to Base 4. We work really hard to entertain and interact with you, and there's a very simple interact. Spectre Socks!
That's a sweet name.
So is that like when I'm not wearing socks and people are like, why aren't you wearing socks? I can be like, I'm not wearing socks. They're Spectre Socks.
They're Spectre Socks. They're invisible, obviously.
Regardless,
Incorporeal.
the reason for that is because at the end of the day,
Bear Arms, Werebear, the original one.
yes. Man, you're pretty good at this, actually.
I read a lot of flavor text when I'm bored.
But the reason why we try to entertain and the reason why we try so hard to interact is because we're doing this for you. Like, without all of you, you guys are all like, wildly important to this. Because otherwise, we're two people. Tevin, thanks for hitting that follow button. We're two people hanging out.
Splinter Twin, Lash Curve. I played that so much. Catch is Lava Axe. Come on, people.
Regardless, it's because of all of you. That's why. We started this off, and the only reason why we keep pushing ourselves to improve is because of the amazing support of every single one of you joining us so consistently, hitting that follow
All
button.
you.
Yeah, it's incredible. So, thank you to all of you. Wacky Boy. I kind of agree. Eldritch Evolution is just a sweet card, and I'm okay with that one.
I want a banana this big. That would be
That's the Gorilla.
Gorilla Titan.
Yes,
I think?
that it would be. Now, the Kingdoms 3 are now Stuff of Dream for men to ponder. Pat, this has
upgrade to the Cinder Hatchet is also.
that's got to be
Lava
Lash Curve. Thanks for hitting that follow button. That reminds me of the Peach Garden Oath.
Peach Garden Oath.
That's got to be Portal 3 Kingdoms for Josh.
3 are now the Stuff of Dream for men to ponder. Pat. I think it might be Peach Garden.
It
Oath.
has to be. I don't think that it was quite that one, but I couldn't tell you.
Sparing not a single
Keller,
dice.
you're about to go to your first tournament. Any suggestions? Yes. Whatever it is. 1, bring snacks and water, or be prepared. And bring like a life total pad and a pen. Otherwise, on any major decision, if you are someone who can kind of get psyched out, anything like that, just take a moment. Remember that you have like an extra second. You have time, so just take an extra couple seconds on every decision. Sometimes you'll get hasty into those making decisions. Take the time that you need. Don't be rushed by your opponent. And 100%, if you have a question at all, call a judge. They are not there. They're not bothered by people calling for a judge. They are there specifically so that you can call them for absolutely any question.
Yep.
That no one will think bad about you for calling a judge. You should do it if you need one, because you shouldn't trust your opponent's advice. Because they can be a great person, don't get me wrong, but at the end of the day, they're your opponent.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely make sure you can do that one.
All right, so slowly crashing. Yours is Hallowed Fountain. You have not died until I consent. I have no idea. Your exercise right bear arms. That's Werebear. We did that already. Let's do it again. That's Time Warp. Chains of Leaping Fire and Sizzling Lightning, Lady Wasty, Artificer's Handiwork, sparing not a single device. I don't know that one.
Let's see here. Also to Aaron Lee 35, you are welcome. We're happy to do it. We do it twice a week. What else have we got? Dictator for Life. We're doing well. You traded an Emrakul for a Wasteland. Good trade? Yes. That is a good trade. I would absolutely make that one. Whew. We got through this. So, heading into Game 3, Max on the play. He's
Absolutely.
got the mutagenic growth in hand. Looks like we are on a Hemolta 5, however, which is not ideal. But it does look like a hand that can get there, especially because of what I believe is...
Great.
Did I see an
Oh,
Inkmoth Nexus in
Shatterstorm.
there?
Very nice.
Interesting. So I think I saw an Inkmoth in that hand, but if not, it's got a little bit of mana. It's got the mutagenic growth. It's got what you're looking for if you're going to be at 5. So Max has got some potential as far as this one goes, keeping whatever it was that he was scoring on top, which is also an excellent sign.
Turn 1 elf.
For a 5, that's excellent. He's got the mutagenic growth to get beyond the gut shot.
Dylan's got a gut shot.
Use it.
Gonna save it with the growth.
Yep.
Stop it.
For a
We're
5,
both gonna pay 2 life to do nothing.
Whirly, come on now. I had a fire hat on yesterday. So for Dylan, we have got an Aether Vial, some creatures in the Cavern of Souls.
Pretty sure that that's Sizzle, right? The gods are not kind, but they have soft spot, plucky underdogs. That is timely reinforcements.
So Birds of Paradise coming down as well with a one-lander, but that one-lander having a Birds of Paradise and a Glistener Elf, this is pretty solid. I can totally get behind this.
What's up, Doro?
A Spreading Seas taking it down. That's such a good call to play down that Birds of Paradise.
Yeah.
Doro, it is great to see you. Thank you so much for joining us. I did see that you jumped in the Dylan command as well, but hello to everybody. It's awesome having you. Kellery, you're making your deck for the tournament. Would you recommend a deck revolving around Night Howler? It depends on what kind of tournament, but honestly, not fully. I guess Night Howler is the one that power and tough is equal number of swamps, right? That's the one with the aura, the enchant one.
TJ, do you know that flavor text? I do.
The Spark Mage Screech, calling on the rage of the storm of his youth to surprise the That isn't that Lightning Bolt?
Yep.
Yeah.
That was Lightning Bolt in M10. It's actually referring to the fact that people thought they'd never see Lightning Bolt again.
Yeah. Okay. So Lord of Atlantis joining down. We do have an Aether Vial on 2 as well, which is really, really good for Dylan. With Max having this Glistener Elf, swinging in isn't a great idea because he can get it up to 2 with this, but what he's really looking for is a pump spell, some kind of way to make it unblockable.
Shade of Hades, I believe that is Time of Heroes. That's from Rise of the Eldrazi, right?
As a heads up, this game is probably better played like between rounds and games. just a note there.
Maybe I'm wrong.
Okay.
No, that's not Time of Heroes. Time of Heroes is that you can either fight and die for something or something like that. No half measures, no regrets. We'll tell no stories of this day. It will be as if it never exists.
Aragon Shadeslayer, I would make
I
that
don't
trade.
know.
So Dylan drops into a Marrow Reejery, still does have this Aether Vial on 2, signaling a lot of things. Otherwise, you've got a 3/3 Reejery sitting in the way. For Max, doesn't have a whole lot of it. This Mold of 5 might actually be doing a lot more damage than... I think a part of it, he has the Dark Blast, which is interesting.
Revoke existence from scars. That's it. Okay.
It's only this, fun fact. Again, we'll probably jump more into this for after games, but that was almost... The card that flavor text is for was almost the name of this shop, actually. Fun fact.
Chubtoad?
Yep.
Jeez.
And it was almost
Dylan
our
likes
team.
Chubtoad way too much.
It was almost our team, and I worked so... Oh, and I also convinced him on the shirts.
Yeah, you got him away from that.
No, I convinced him
you
on...
convinced him on...
Yep.
Perfect.
I know.
So,
So, we've got to swing in for a lot. This is, what, 7? No. Yes. 8. 8. A swing in for 8. There is an island on the opposing side of the battlefield. Pretty much what Max is looking to do at this point is come up with some way to make it unblockable and just go for one big swing, but with only like a Become Immense and Distortion Strike, even that's not quite enough.
Lash Curves, I'll answer that one. That one's Supreme Verdict.
Yep. But I'm not sure what I could see Max coming back with this. He's going to be at 3 after this hit. He doesn't have a whole lot of options. He could use the Dark Blast if he really, really wanted to. He can block the Lord, but I'm not sure he wants to. I think he needs to make sure that he casts anything that he draws, and he's going to be dead on the same clock regardless. Blocking that Lord is not actually going to save anything.
Doro, I assume this is referring to what you tweeted about, I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's just like...
Again, the
know.
flavor text game is much better between rounds and at the end and things like that.
Well, no, he's talking about twin stuff.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
That one.
Well, Aragon, that's Wasteland.
So, we've got the swing in for the 2. Dylan is going to have to get in the way of it. He does have an Aether Vial on 2. He has a Master of Waves in hand, but hasn't been taking it up, which is
Just gonna
the right
block
call.
the
But
Reejery here.
I mean, he has the ability to Dark Blast it to try and go for a trade, but even still, you're dead the next turn. An Aether Vial for 2 coming in. Would Twin ever get unbanned? Unlikely.
I wish, but probably not.
No. I don't think so. Okay. That would not solve...
And we're gonna bounce back. Okay.
Nice.
Vines it.
I mean, the problem is that you still have a block on it, and you're still dead to the board. So Max needs a way to give it trample. I mean, otherwise... So picks up the
that's
cards.
it.
Yep. And that is going to be Dylan taking it in 2. We do have about 22 minutes left.
I will see if I can find us another match.
And thank you very much. We'll see what we can do. Okay.
So
Yeah, just go bother people. Yeah, get them. Get them. Hello all, and thank you for joining. My name is TJ. We're streaming from Geek Fortress in Snohomish, Washington. Bryce is out there trying to find another match for you here in round 2. As far as the twin ban go, will Goyf ever get banned? Absolutely no. When we talk about banning Exarch over Splinter Twin, that is not actually that great. Like, the problem is that Exarch isn't what held the deck together. Exarch is just what made the deck even better, but the deck would still be exactly the same without Exarch. So, yeah, I very much think that it's unlikely. Pokey Lucky, it's great to see you. Thank you so much for joining, and as always, if you are just joining us, if you're brand new, if you're regular, anything else, be sure to hit that follow button and join us here because we stream 4 times a week. 4 times a week. Can you believe that?
I can't.
It used to be 3, it's now 4, but you can join us every Monday at 6:30 Pacific time. It's currently 7:21 our time. At 6:34 Standard. You can join us every Wednesday and every Saturday for some sweet Modern, just like today. Wednesdays at 7, Saturdays at 6, and every Friday at 7:30. We've got Legacy. Legacy, Legacy, Legacy. It's going to be awesome. Nice. Exarch doesn't die to Bolt. It was pretty important, sure, but that didn't hold the deck together. It just made it even better.
Yep.
But it's awesome having you all. I'm really excited about that, and it's going to be a great time. I believe we have another match up.
Nope.
Ooh, never mind.
They're both games that are going are in games.
Apparently it's a
Keeping an eye
particularly
out.
fast day. Not quite sure what we've got going on that one, but at the end it does mean that we can do all kinds of fun stuff. What's the issue with faster combo control deck in the format, though? The only thing that happened after Twin Ban was the other linear decks. The deck was just really, really good, and it was a combo deck, it was a control deck, it was a tempo deck, it did everything, and honestly the meta is better right now than it was then.
Lash Curb, you're asking me what my favorite Modern deck ever is. Splinter Twin.
Yep.
Blue Red Twin. All day, every day.
Aragon Shadeslayer Legacy is Fridays at 7:30.
That it is.
Um,
That it is.
Thoughts on the Joe ban? I don't like it. I like Joe. His hair is really solid. Yeah, but mostly I really think that Modern right now is better than it was with Twin.
I don't like that Twin is gone, don't get me wrong, but I agree. I think it's in a good place.
Yep. Modern's awesome. I am sorry, Infamous. On the bright side, 90% of that deck held its value.
Yeah.
Pretty much just the Splinter Twins and the Exarchs.
Splinter Twin and Exarch went down.
But
I
the
mean,
rest
you
of that
still
Tomo
have-
deck is really...
You still have Snapcaster Mage, you still have Tarmogoyf.
Yeah.
Bryce, where are my Twin and Exarchs now? Did I burn them? No. No, they are sitting on the giant table thing that we have with all of our cards.
Mm-hmm.
I know exactly where all of it is.
I will say, I do really like that on your wall, there is that memorial to Splinter Twin.
That was made, so the night that Splinter Twin was announced as being banned was the Friday, because it got leaked, and so they just confirmed
Yeah,
it.
we talked about how much you were going to flip.
Yep, so they did that, and we went to midnight pre-release that night. And David mocked up that lovely picture and brought it with him. And then Nate wrote on it, "Never forgive, never forget." And so that is on the wall in my bedroom. And then after...
In the bedroom, too.
yeah, it's in the bedroom. It's like there above the bed. Chill. And then after this most recent pre-release, we were hanging out during the late night Saturday one. Me, Nate, and Draven were hanging out, and we were talking, and I talked about getting my Pro Point, and Draven made me a Pro Point badge where he wrote the 1 backwards and spelled professional wrong. It's lovely.
That's beautiful. But yeah, I don't know. Bans are unfortunate. That's the way that it goes. But the deck was just too good. The deck was too good for Modern. Its time had come. That's just the way that it goes.
See, the 1 is backward and he spelled professional.
Yes, he did.
Like,
You might as well put that on Twitter.
yeah, I'll just
Totally.
post it to Twitter. Why not?
Totally.
You guys want to see this lovely thing? Check out my Twitter. It'll be there.
Okay, so Modern isn't better. It's way faster. The number of viable interactive decks has done nothing but gone down in numbers. I would disagree. I think, what is it, in the most recent like update that I've seen, Jund is the top played deck. Obzon Company is also one of the top played decks. I think that overall Modern is pretty solid. I don't know. I guess everyone is entitled to their opinion, all things considered, but I do quite enjoy it. But you've got, like, I think you have Nahiri, Obzon Company, and Jund as 3 of the biggest decks in Modern right now, and all 3 of those are extremely interactive with your opponent. So, I think that it's probably fine. Though I guess some people argue that Obzon Company isn't interactive, but I think it is. I would label Obzon Company as interactive and non-linear, just because it varies what it does so much based on the opponent. But I don't know. Everyone has their opinion on it. So it's gonna be awesome. We do have round 3 coming up shortly. I believe it's gonna be a rock and roll time. Apparently, it's a pretty quick day.
There's actually 12 minutes left in the round. We started the timer late.
Oh, we did?
Yep.
Ah, we're the worst.
And by we, I mean...
By we, I mean me. Let's see here. Tom Ross is awesome. Bara knows best. Thank you so much for joining us. Based on win percentage, Infect is the best performing deck. Sure, that's likely to change on any given time, though. Infect is performing pretty well at the moment. But
Infect is good.
Infect is a good deck. I'll definitely give it that one, and I think that a decent amount of it is based around people not quite knowing how to play against that or Suicide Zoo.
Yep.
In the little bit that I watch, I see a lot of players not know how to approach it.
An interesting part, both those decks play. They come immense.
Yes, they do. I still don't think that
Delve spells are good.
Delve spells are good. But
yeah, how that works.
Yeah, I guess the biggest thing is that I think that without there being any major Modern tournaments, most of the data being pulled right now is from online.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems like it's got this weirdest, like, really high skill. The variance and, like, the playability is really different, because when you're looking at a bunch of day 2s and stuff, you definitely see, like, people are fully aware of what they're going up against. But on MTGO, I tend to see a lot of, like, in a bunch of streams and stuff, I see a lot of confusion as to how to play against those
play
decks.
against specific things, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense.
So, not entirely sure about that one, but it definitely does seem like it plays a factor. Skittles, P99, good to see you. I remember way back when I saw you first, and don't get to see you too active in the chat, so it's great having you. Same to actually Bara knows best. I don't get to see you too often. You opened 2 Brain in a Jar in your pre-release and Eldritch Moon along with 2 Rise from the Tides. That sounds pretty good. Actually, that's
pretty good.
That is really a lot of good cards. Mine, I opened a great pool and then I played a bad. And then I played all the bad cards.
And then you played all the bad red cards because you wanted to play red.
Yes. I love it.
I opened a medium pool and played a decent black-red deck.
Really?
Got me a 3-1.
Nice. Bara knows best. Thank you so much for hitting that follow button. It's awesome having you, and as always, now seems like a great time to say hello, everybody. You are all rock stars. To all the people who are hanging out, you are the reason why we do this. To all the people who are lurkers, thank you so much for just your silent support. To all the people in the chat, thank you so much for your vocal
support,
your clickety-clack and support. We need to do a face swap with the zombies in the background.
I don't want to be Carl. He's up there.
Yeah.
We need to name this one. He's right over my shoulder at some point.
Building a popper cube, any tips? Use only commons to Minimage.
TJ, tell us a joke.
Weirdly enough, for as many jokes that I tell, I have so few actually prepared jokes.
Talking about flavor text.
I have so few actually prepared jokes. Like, I'm not sure what kind of joke people want to hear, because jokes are entirely dependent on, like, my audience, and I don't entirely... It's so
I
diverse
have a
I don't know
joke
them.
ready, if you guys want. So...
Okay. Go for
2
it.
scarecrows are hanging up in a field.
Okay.
One turns to the other, looks at him and goes, "Hey, man."
That's awful. That's really bad. That's really bad. Oh my goodness. Also, Skittles is bringing up a good point. You can't play Kiki Chord right now online at all. You also can't play Mono Green Devotion because Genesis Hydra is broken.
Hydra doesn't work.
It's pretty interesting. It is pretty interesting. The Gitrog Monster, it's good to see you again. Welcome back. And, man, that's... Oh, I kind of like that one. Oh man. All right, hi everybody. So, if you haven't heard yet, be sure to hit that follow button because we stream 4 times a week. It's all kinds of awesome, and now is the time to hype it up. It's the time. It's the time. It's the
Here
time.
we go.
Are you ready?
Hold on. I'm locked in.
You're locked in, you're popped in, you're rocking and rolling. It's gonna be a pop time because Sunday, the 31st, the Sunday of July. It's gonna be amazing. I don't know what time it is there, but here it's somewhere in the realm of 7:30-ish because you should come and join us for some sweet hip-hop happening time. Juso 27. It's a good time to enter because now's the time when you get to hear about the modern preliminary. Repeat it.
Preliminary.
Pro Tour qualifier, which you can join us for here Sunday, July 31st
Am I
at
supposed
noon.
to repeat all of that?
No, you don't
Okay.
need to repeat all of that. Your hype is bad, and so I decided to move on. So you can join us. It's going to be sweet. It's going to be 5 to 6 rounds of Modern, the sweet thing where everybody's joining in. They're competing. They're going for it. They're rocking. They're fighting. They're battling on the planar battle of planar battling. It's going to be great under the feature camera. There's going to be hosts. There's going to be people talking about it. It's going to be sweet. And then it's going to have a cut to top 8. Cut to top 8. How sweet is that? Pretty sweet, because then we are going to be having, I think it's probably going to be around round 5 or something like that, to like just make sure that people don't get exhausted, because last time we did this, I sat in a chair for like 10 hours or 11 hours or something like that.
It's a long time.
It's going to be sweet. It's going to be a lot.
Just gonna hear you. We'll try.
8 to 9 hours of sweet Modern. I'm going to be hanging out in the field and just walking around for the early shift of it because I'll be coming back from California, and then the later shift I'll be here getting all kinds of hyped. I'm excited, you should be excited, and I cannot wait. You?
Can't wait.
It's going to be so cool. I love it. I love it.
Pairings are up.
Alright, so we have got the next round up, and now is the time. Also, remember, if you are going to GP Portland, let me know. Let me know. Phyrexian28, I don't get to see your name too often. Thank you so much for joining. I honestly, I'm not sure if I've seen you before for that particular one. I apologize for forgetting, but welcome or welcome back. It's great to have you. Congratulations on winning your preliminary Pro Tour qualifier with Kiki Evolution Cord. How did Eldritch Evolution feel? Let me know. Tim Smash Gilmore, that's awesome. I hope that you keep it up and keep going to them. They're a lot of fun events. AB4233, what do I think about doubling season now with Tamio and Oath of Nissa? I mean, I'm not thrilled by it, but it is a sweet deck. I'd like to see people play it. I doubt it'll become a meta factor. Win of the Island's terrible housemates. Ha, that's funny. Hey, that's, man, any just gotta hear you. I think he's out there looking for it right now. Whew. There we go. I sound like the guy from the Wacky Waving Inflatable Arm Flailing Tube Man trying to cut a promo. Thank you, Venom Carries. I assume that that's a positive. I don't know, but I tend to be about 90% hype and energy at any given time.
So,
Yes.
this round, facing the wall,
Facing the wall.
we have Chance.
Chance McDougal.
Indeed.
Tell me more.
He is on Jund.
That's a pretty cool deck. Alright, tell me a little bit more about what's happening here.
His opponent is Jacob. Jacob Anderson. Who's on Elves.
I hope that you're still here, because we have got the Elves.
Yeah.
Very cool. I absolutely dig it. Aragon Shadeslayer.
It's a good joke.
I mean, it was a really solid joke the first 2 times. I
Just wanted to make sure he was heard.
apparently. Okay, you're waking up, you feeling you read the bones of nuts to make a system engineer explode. Welcome to the new Ice Age, to the Ice Age. Welcome to the Ice Age, to the Ice Age. Whoa. I'm an OO, split twin active. Phyrexian28, thank you so much for hitting that follow button.
That's an interesting change to radioactive.
Bryce has to balance the hype out with. Oh, man.
You know, I gotta earn my name, right?
Seriously. Alright, let's head on down, have some fun, and let's do some cool stuff. I forgot to reset the life totals in the game wins. You know why? Because I'm a scrub. I'm a scrub. I'm a casual.
Sweaty casual.
Alright.
Turn 1.
Aragon Shadeslayer, enjoy the show. I hear good things about it.
Heritage Druid.
It's a solid start from Elves. Though, actually, probably my least favorite one. Opens itself up to removal, and against Jund, probably not ideal. Really tells me that that was his
Inquisition.
only turn 1 play. Takes the Shaman of the Pack over the Dwynen's Elite.
Dwynen's Elite?
I really think
Dwynen's Elite is insane with Heritage Druid.
I would have taken the Dwynen's Elite there, personally.
not
but-
like anti-hype.
Okay.
I'm just not the hype.
So, also tried the new Thalia. It was terrible.
Visionary.
Good to know. So, a Visionary going to draw into a card. Yeah, I'm really a little bit surprised by taking the Shaman, but that is one of the few ways that you can get past Jund. If he's got something like a board wipe in hand, then could be very good. Otherwise, we do have another Shockland coming down, and looks like a Terminate taking down the Heritage Druid. Probably the right call with that one, and especially going for it on his turn before it can start tapping for
Yeah,
mana.
making more mana.
I'm so bad with the timer today. I'm the worst.
That's okay.
My goodness. So a lot of land, and it looks like we drew into a Nettle Sentinel and an Azuri.
Yep.
That's pretty good. That's really
so
good.
attacked for 4. Down to 12 goes Chance. Here's Nettle Sentinel. I'm going to send the turn back. Chance at 12.
So, a decent...
It was Dreadbore, not Terminate. You're correct.
My bad. Well, then, even better choice to cast it on his turn.
Yes, that's when you can cast it.
Okay. Actually, Thermo Alchemist is an awesome card. I'm going to be testing it in Pauper Burn.
Thermal Alchemist is cool. Actually, he's hot.
Ha! Ha ha ha. So, Chance with just the single red source, not expecting too much as far as a main board Anger the Gods at the moment right now. Aragon Shadeslayer, I am sorry to hear that. That sounds super unfortunate. But, you're talking to the right person. I burn my
Dark Confidant.
I burn my tongue like, I don't know, 6 times a
Burning
year.
your tongue is terrible.
Like 6 times a year. I do it a lot. I get really excited about food and I decide that like, let's go, and I regret it. And I've like burned my like tongue, esophagus, and stomach before on some potatoes. I think you've heard that one.
I think I've heard that one.
It was so bad.
We have 60 quotes?
Yeah.
That's so many quotes.
I mean, 60% of them are me saying something stupid.
only 60%?
Yeah, you're probably right. So, Dark Confidant getting taken down and just continuing to go for this swinging game plan. Chance under a lot of pressure right now, just through the fact that this beatdown with a bunch of 1/1s and 2/2s. This Tarmogoyf is going to do a decent job. We've got sorceries, creatures, and land, I think.
Bolt.
A lightning bolt on that one, and I think that now we have instant. Is this a 4/5? I think this is should be. Is there no land in the graveyard? There might be no land in the graveyard. Interesting. Huh. That is curious. Code number 61.
Oh boy.
So this Tarmogoyf is going to do a decent job of holding it back, but the Dwynen's Elite coming down is really solid. So Chance at 8 drops down a forest. We'll taking a look at his graveyard. Maybe a Kulagon's Command wants to see if there's a creature that he wants to buy back. As it currently sits. Let's see. I don't think I ever did say that directly, Worley, unless you're taking me out of context. So, a Kulagon's Command here, I would assume pointing towards just the 2/2, and then getting back the Dark Confidant. And we're going to chord in response. So he actually doesn't have the Dark Confidant either, though I think he's holding his graveyard right now.
Yeah.
Okay. So, playing an elf deck without the proper elf warrior token. Violation. Smooth call, Saul. I dig it. So we are going to go for a Shaman of the Pack. It's going to put him down to 3. I mean, he gets the Dark Confidant.
Down to 3. He gets.
He's going to go down to 1 next turn. Go to 1 next turn and then has to get a land at the upkeep. Or actually, no, he'll lose it by blocking.
Yeah.
Ooh. I mean, you have to play it.
Yeah.
You have to play it. Take down the
Alright,
Shaman.
Jake, hit another lovely.
Jake needs to hit pretty much anything here.
I mean, you just attack with everything, right? No,
Lash
it just
Curve.
passes the turn.
Kiki Court is a super fun deck.
Deal you 2, you go to 1.
It's not played online, because it is broken online right now to where Wall of Roots,
Wall of Roots doesn't work.
Wall of Roots
correctly.
doesn't work right now. Yes, he did use a Court of Calling for the Shaman. So it's not being played online because it's currently broken. The deck is sweet. It's also very difficult to play, however, is the biggest issue that we have. So anytime that people pick it up, often they get discouraged because you really should spend, like, I don't know, at least a month playing it before you're going to really kind of understand some of the lines that are going on.
Yeah, it's just a fairly difficult deck to play.
Yep.
Yeah, Doro, we hit 3,000 followers. What?
Get the camera! I mean, we've got 2 of them already.
There's one there and there's one out there.
Yeah.
I have a camera phone.
Yeah,
Does
the
that
wall,
work?
wall is, in fact, still broken.
Yeah, it doesn't work correctly with. It doesn't
Oh.
work correctly. You can't remove mana. You can't remove a thing for mana and flip like you can, like you're actually able to do.
Apparently it may have been fixed, but if so, that's still fairly recent, actually, because it was broken for a long
Quite some
time. So,
Seal of Fire.
a Seal of
Take out
Fire,
Shaman.
taking out the Shaman,
See, this is why Jacob should have just attacked the last time. He just needed to attack.
and just let the Dark Confidant do it.
Well, he needs to attack. He attacks with the 3 things. He loses 2 of his creatures. Dark Confidant dies. His opponent is at 1.
Yep.
And then you have more chance to draw into creatures as well.
Okay. So, a Dark Confidant, a Tarmogoyf, and a Scavenging Ooze with 2 counters on it at the moment decides to take a look and take out this Nettle Sentinel to get up to 3 and go back up to 3. Doing a solid job looking down 3 creatures with 3 blockers that would at least trade, the Dark Confidant being the worst one there, and I would be okay with aggressively trading that one. But it looks like we're actually going to go to 6 after eating lots of these creatures. Woo! Nice.
Well, you can't put a 5th -0/-1 counter onto wall and tap it, but you're able to tap it and activate its mana ability at the same time because it's a mana ability.
It's weird.
But you
it's the
can't do
point
it
being.
on Moto.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're past Wall of Roots. It's not in this game.
Okay.
Heritage Druid the draw for Jacob this turn.
Heritage Druid is okay, but not incredible. I can't quite see what that other card in hand is, though.
I think it's a forest.
Do ya?
Yep.
That's not good. And if he's passing back, I have to kind of agree. Going down to 5, huge creatures. Now the big thing that Chance needs to do is get to a point where he's confident to start applying pressure. And if I'm him, I might actually just start swinging with this Dark Confidant. It's going to trade with anything that Jacob has. It starts applying a little bit of pressure to him, and you're either getting free swings in, and you're no longer taking damage off of that, and you do want to get rid of that Dark Confidant. Otherwise, you might save it as a blocker, start swinging with the Scavenging Ooze, which isn't going to die to any of that. And it forces him to start losing these and keep it back. So actually,
Rupt Decay,
Ooh.
gonna deal 2.
not a
down 3.
bad flip there, because actually,
He can kill a creature, gain another life, attack for some more damage.
yes, I like this. So, Dictator for Life, I couldn't tell you. I actually don't play MTGO because I have terrible internet. I'm going to start trying to stream it as soon as I move, but I couldn't tell you for certain. All I know is that there were a lot of complaints and a bunch of Keycord players stopped playing it because it didn't work.
Yep.
So I honestly can't answer that one.
Lash Curve as far as Bant Humans versus Mono White Humans. It depends on what you like to play, honestly. They're both good decks. I think Bant Human's probably the better one overall.
Yes.
More powerful things it can do.
But white aggro is faster.
Yeah.
And is why I would go for that one. I think my current observations of Standard are that at turn 1 functionally doesn't exist within the current Standard. And so my approach, as we're kind of getting ready, has been to take that mentality and say, look, we're playing a worse deck, theoretically. But if we're playing an entire turn ahead of them by using our turn 1, then we can take an advantage out that way. And it's almost like even when we're not on the play, we're on the play because we're using that turn 1. So that's at least my mentality towards Standard right now, as I dive into it.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Okay. Kigropa, understandable. I'm mostly just looking for it because it'll give me more opportunities to interact with all of you, and also because I don't get to play very much because of this stream. If I can start playing Magic and actually getting to practice it, and then if people want to, you know, I guess if people are interested in me streaming it, then I'm open to it.
Alright, Abrupt Decay gonna take out the Heritage Druid.
I like that one. It disables. I mean, the mana is still fully functioning, but there's not a whole lot of better options there. Jacob doesn't have a whole lot to bounce back for this, and it just means that you're eliminating some of the options of the broken things that Jacob can do.
Llanowar Elves. Chances at 4 if he flips a 4-drop. He just dies.
Right. which is, you know, not bad. I still think that Chance might be
Up to 5. He ate
a
another creature.
little... I don't know, he needs to come up with some way to start applying pressure. That's the biggest issue that we have.
Well, gonna take 2. You want to cast that Dark Confidant?
Yes.
Might as well.
Otherwise, I mean, drawing 2 cards is still really, really good. But eventually we need to start applying pressure.
Bant Company is very good right now.
Why is Abrupt Decay so much better in Legacy than Modern? Because there are way more counterspells in Legacy. What's the card to the left of Llanowar Elves? That is Elvish Visionary.
That's the promo F&M one. 1S.
Did I mess up? I was typing.
And 2 S's.
Okay. I was holding a tab of this,
Ah,
which made my ability to
made your
function.
typing worse.
It made my typing much worse. Which my distracted typing is already not great. Man, I should have expected this. Okay. So, a 5/6 Tarmogoyf, Chance at 3, Jacob down to 13 after just going for a little bit of a swing here, tossing some creatures in front of it. Chance being a little bit risky here. Really, I think he
Now
was
he can be
expecting...
attacked for...
He's going to go down to 1, and it's do we flip a land?
Well, he goes down to 1, and then he eats one of the creature that he blocks, and goes back up to 2.
So we need to flip a 1-drop or a land?
Yep.
Oh,
Or Jacob needs to draw a Shaman of the Pack, or a Court of Calling to go get Shaman of the Pack,
both of which would be very, very good
or
right
a
now.
Collected Company.
Looks like we do, in fact, not have those. In fact...
Any of the above would work.
3
3 mana? No. 2 mana? No. 1 mana?
Yeah, that's another abuse. We have mods, they'll deal with it. Okay. So,
There it is.
goes in for the attack all out, trying to
Yep.
get in with a little bit of damage. We're going to block one of those. We're going to go down to 1.
Blocks the Visionary.
We do have the mana to eat it, though, and to go back up to 2. We've got a Nettle Sentinel in hand. Okay.
And here is that Nettle Sentinel.
So, we actually, looks like eating 2 creatures.
Oh, flipped a land.
Boom!
Jeez.
Finally.
Wow.
The Dark Confidant finally doing what it's supposed to be doing. Dropping down
Tarmogoyf.
another Tarmogoyf, and this is starting to flip for Chance a little bit. His biggest liability right now is his own Dark Confidant. Okay. So, we have got the Nettle Sentinel, a 1/1, a 1/1. Now if he attacks
Down
with
to
this one,
3.
it doesn't have a whole lot going on, but Jacob getting pretty aggressive. This is a massive, massive Scavenging Ooze. And now
Man,
Chance is
and
outnumbering
Jacob does not
creatures.
hit anything. That's game.
A phenomenal, phenomenal crawl back into that game from Jund. Now, Jund, a deck that it's always a little bit iffy, and I've heard multiple people argue with me multiple ways about which is favored in this particular matchup, but at the end of the day, I kind of have to give it to Jund. And I know that a lot of the argument that is for Elves, and it's a very reasonable argument, is that Elves, Jund, a deck that really focuses on going 1-for-1 a lot of the time.
Absolutely.
Elves has the ability to go completely beyond that. So, I can definitely see why people would argue that one. But I think that Chance has got a really solid option as far as just so much spot removal, taking out the key pieces, disrupting that synergy. No way you scoop that up. Bob could have flipped a Lily or a Command.
I mean, I agree. You gotta.
Yeah.
The problem is he's gonna have to chump block the other 3 things. No, he could activate Rage and Ravine. He was just dead.
Yep.
So nope. He dead.
He was not in a good spot. Barrett. Let's see. What a great name, Foxy Grandpa. It's awesome to have you, Foxy Grandpa. But, yeah, that I really think that Junda's got the advantage, especially when you go into the post-board consideration of running either Damnations, Anger the Gods. I think that Jund has got a huge amount of potential in that one.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
while I've heard a lot of arguments saying that Elves has able to build such a wide board and go beyond it, sure, and I can understand that, and they can do really well there.
Aragon,
But-
I believe Jacob is playing Collected Company. Yes.
Yes, and a lot of... It's kind of iffy, because a lot of the older versions are, But newer versions have also been going for a lot more of Lead the Stampede as well. Though I still think that they are
I
running
think
Collected
Collected
Company.
Company is just better.
Lead the Stampede draws you 5, though. And when you're going for just the straight-up beatdown version with elves, which I like, it's pretty solid. And it's a much... I mean, it's a... draw 5 is usually pretty good.
Last year, my favorite foreign language is Canadian English because everything ends with A.
My favorite foreign language for cards is Russian. It's way longer.
I was kidding.
Yeah.
I don't like foreign language cards personally. I just want to use ones that I can read.
I have a French Bolt. I've got a German Bolt. Both of these are really sweet. I think I need to find one other foreign Bolt. My Affinity deck has one ofs that are foreign. But overall, I think... Is that the actual Chris Van Meter? I'm pretty sure that he joined us here before.
Hey, Chris.
But hi, Chris.
Thanks for being with us here.
That's pretty exciting. Game 1 is close since elves can outpace all the 1-foot removal. Yeah.
That's true.
Overall, I still think that Junt has got a lot of potential. I think 50-50 is probably about what it is. Kraken 101, thank you so much for joining. That's pretty exciting. Chris, thank you so much for joining us. It's awesome having you. I hope that you're enjoying it. Any questions, comments, or... I mean, you probably interact with this enough that feedback is also extremely important from you. So if you ever have the chance, we'd appreciate it.
TJ with his normal feedback thing.
You know what? When we're trying to create a show for the people watching,
That's fine.
when they have something that they're looking for, then that's what I'm looking to do. Man, hello to everybody. Looks
Don't
like
put Collected Company in Tron. It seems like a great idea.
because that way you can hit all of your spell skites, I guess.
Sounds good, Chris. We hope to see you.
Chris, I look forward to it one day. Be sure to say hi. I mean, I'll recognize you, but still.
Of course.
But still, if you ever get the chance, I would absolutely love that. That'd be really exciting. Linifer, I was hoping you were still around. I'm glad they were able to get elves on. This time the advice is asked for, not just given. I'm not entirely sure what we're referring to there, but still. Oh, yeah, okay. I gotcha. Turn
Alright.
1, Elvish Visionary from Jacob. Going for a fetch, probably, he looks like he only went down to the 19. A shock would not surprise me, however.
Get CVM in the coverage closet.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, CVM, if you ever want to co-host, you're in. I'll tell you that.
I just lost my job. It's okay, guys. We're good. I'll just go.
I guess, he's in here then, but if you ever want to, definitely. Z-Man.
Kidding. I would gladly step aside.
The game comes down to using resources, building a deck beforehand, and using the deck that either abilities that produce resources and things that use those resources to eventually outmaneuver your opponent by usually creature-based and get the value out of that way. But oh, there's an Explain Magic command in MTGO. That is
Perfect.
amazing. Chris Van Meter, that is... I'm feeling the hype right now. I'm feeling the hype, and I'm sure that most people are aware that I usually am, but still, we've got a Shaman of the Pack coming down to hit for 3. Or 2, actually.
2.
A little bit premature, potentially. But,
Maybe
man,
he just wants to get a 3-2 on the board.
Big Bear, it is great to have you. Does Modern Elves run Shaman of the Pack? Yes.
Yes, there happens to be one in play.
Forever Malone, what a fantastic name. That's pretty awesome.
There's also an Explain Banding. Jeez.
That is really, really cool. So, an Abrupt Decay taking on the Shaman of the Pack. So, I actually can see an argument for taking on the Elvish Visionary there. Weirdly
Yeah.
enough. But we're going to drop down the
Azuri.
Azuri, part of the beatdown game plan, realizing that he didn't need to tap for that, probably making the Shaman of the Pack
Could've
an
tapped.
okay option there. Could have gone for the attack for 1, and I think it probably would have been the right call.
Going to leave up the forest and tap the elf.
Interesting.
Z-Man, go to a local game store. I'm sure there's someone who is willing to teach you. If you're in the Snohomish area, swing by. We'd be
Yes,
happy to.
we're starting out of Snohomish, Washington, but find your LGS. People will be willing to. Local game stores, by the way, what that means. Hardcore Spirit Dancer, it is great to see you again. It's awesome having you. JC Covey, thank you so much for joining. And, man, hello to everybody. It's so cool having you all. If this is your first time joining us, be sure to hit to say hi and hit that follow button. Living in His Bay, it's good to see you. I am really thrilled. Seems like a lot of brand new people are here. Thank you so much to all of you. It's really important to have you here, and I look forward to it. Questions, comments, always welcome. So, a Wooded Foothills coming down for Chance. We do have I mean, he's got a Chord of Calling, and was that another Azurian hand right now? Oh, what's up, Caleb? Good having you. Okay, so it's a Chord of Calling and an Overgrown Tomb. So
That
Jacob has
would
got
be
a.
Caleb's name.
I mean, I kind of love it actually.
Not saying I don't love it, but that would be his name.
Z-Man, thank you so much for hitting that follow button. It's awesome having you, and I look forward to interacting with you more in the future as you learn this game.
Absolutely, Big Barry. The Magic community is very welcoming and wanting to teach people how to play. Because the more people play it, the more often you're going to be able to get a game.
Yes. Shmevin, thank you so much for joining us. I actually love teaching people how to play. I'm much better in person, but like I once spent an entire week just reading up on how to teach people how to play.
Yeah.
It's pretty fun. Shmevin, it's great to have you. I honestly can't think of a better way to end my Saturday either. And yes, it is the Chris Van Meter.
Yep, CVM's in the chat.
To avoid, I sometimes have this tendency to get a little bit fanboy because I'm so excited about so much. But
Of course.
thank you so much. That's pretty impressive.
It's an interesting way.
Budokanj, thank you so much for hitting that follow button.
Living End also hit the
And to Living End is Bay, thank
Yeah.
you so much.
follow buttons. Thank you. Kolaghan's Command. Ooh, Grinning Demon. Thank you for hitting the follow button.
Thank you very
Kolaghan's
much.
Command and a Chord gets Spellskite, which is going to probably take the 2 damage at it.
I would expect so. I'd be okay with it too. So, this game is actually going pretty solidly in the favor. Like, I would have expected this to go a little bit different, but Filippo Magic, thank you so much for hitting that follow button. It's awesome having you all. Yes, this is the Geek Fortress. Chris Van Meter,
Thanks.
hitting the
Follow
follow button. Ah! Hi, everybody. Katsugun, it's great to see you. Oh, my goodness. So, we've got a swing for... Thanks, Tevin.
Thanks, Tevin.
We've got an Elvish Visionary and a Lorwyn an Elvish Mystic and a one of our elves. We do have the Spellskite, which is doing a great job of protecting it. And looks like that Azuri is just doing a little bit of work. Not quite able... I mean, next turn the activation is going to be very, very real. So...
Anger of the Gods.
Never mind.
Ouch.
Significantly less real all of a sudden. I don't think that we can activate it.
He's gonna regenerate those 2 elves.
Okay. So, still,
It's
I'm
pretty good.
fine with that. I'm fine with that. Antaros CR, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Oh man, this is too exciting for me.
Attack for 2. This is
So I think that was a huge point.
and another Llanowar elf.
It's interesting. This EE on 2 right now means that he has the ability to get rid of the Spellskite, which is going to be fairly key, and I think we're about to see that happen. Maybe not.
3 mana.
With no red available, a Kitchen
Finks,
I like
okay.
that. This is a great card. It's going to be a phenomenal blocker. It's going to take down any of these elves, and we can take down the Spellskite whenever we start getting ready to 1-for-1. I think this Raging Ravine is also going to be a really key card, because Chance just needs to continue this whole idea of crawling and staying in this game, and then this Raging Ravine is a huge repetitive clock that's gonna just do a lot of work for him, to where he can keep back these blockers and have this continually growing threat to apply pressure for.
Heritage Druid.
Mm-hmm.
The mom and pop that shot.
And you know, if Jacob had other cards in hand, that'd be really good. Taking out the Elvish Visionary and the Spellskite, Chance is now getting the untapped. No attacks from Jacob. This Kitchen Fink's already gaining him more than 2 life.
Yep, absolutely.
And that's a really big consideration that you need to have. Thank you. I'm glad that I was finally able to read it correctly. That makes me pretty thrilled. Kigropa, I like peeing here in Nalara. It gives you a lot more game against Affinity. Is a nice trade-off there.
That is definitely true.
Kalidas is definitely solid though.
Cletus is very good.
Modern
Modern Grixis Delver thoughts. I think that Modern Grixis Delver is pretty good right now.
Mm-hmm.
I like the sideboard plan of siding into the Ancestral Vision package for control or grindy matchups.
What's the consensus on the slider? We have some work to do on it. I like it conceptually. We just need to make it smaller, get it labeled, and all kinds of things like that. But absolutely, I do like the slider, and I look forward to using it in the future.
Okay, Elvish Archer.
That's pretty solid. All of a sudden, these are all swinging for 2. Just to
gonna
pass
send him
back, not wanting him to gain that 2 life there, I think that might be a little bit overly cautious.
Yeah.
You would have lost 1 creature, none of them are particularly key for your game plan right now, and you would have dealt a total of 4
4,
and
yeah.
made it a 2-1.
Made it a 2-1, which would trade with one of the creatures next combat as
Yep.
well.
But right now you're really open up to this Elvish Archdruid just getting removed, and all of what you had is now invalidated as far as developing that board. So I really think this Elvish Archdruid is about to go down. Yep.
Bolt takes it down.
And now the point of playing it seems somewhat negated.
Yeah, because you played it, didn't get anything out of it. You didn't even get to get any damage in.
Mm-hmm.
So Jacob's really looking for something off the top. A collect company would be fantastic.
Yes, it would. Cord would also
Cord
be
would
good.
also be good, yeah. So he's got several good draws. Shaman of the Pack would be fine. Nettle Sentinel is what he draws instead.
It's not great, but at least it's a 2-2, and he's
Modern
continuing to just
Jeskai
create board.
Delver. I don't think that that's very good right now.
I think that you'd have to. I don't know. I'm not thrilled by it.
I think Jeskai Delver is not a thing.
Chris Van Meter, excellent point.
That's true as a Raging Ravine.
That's an excellent point. I still like the idea of eventually starting to apply pressure to that one, but with there being he's power running Anger the Gods, he's in such a fine position right now to where I can really understand Chance being patient. He's at 10, Jacob at 17, and a lot of chump blockers as it currently sits. And I think as long as he can sit back and allow it to be force it to where all those cards are in chump blocker mode, even if he's not actually attacking into him, that's exactly where Chance wants to be.
Yeah.
You tweeted about the stream? Chris, thanks! I'm thrilled right now. I'm, sorry, I get excited about things.
TJ's all gooey right now.
I think that, I don't know, I'm just so excited about stuff. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you and you doing that for us. That's pretty awesome. So thank you.
Alright, so another Tarmogoyf for Chance here. He's got a lot of stuff.
Yes, he does. We do have the Joinins Elite joining the battlefield. I mean, he's got so much to do, but nothing to do with it. So, Chris, man, that'd be sweet to have you as a guest commentator one day. That'd be pretty awesome.
Random Trains Chris Van Meter, CBM. He was played a lot on the Star City circuit. So
it's amazing how many Star City people have found this, actually.
yeah,
I think it's
true.
entirely Star City.
It's been entirely Star City as far as we know.
Mm-hmm. Alright.
Hashtag Gushy Tej.
Right?
I don't think TJ would ever play Gush though. Well,
that shaman's pretty good.
I think that shaman that was decent. That was fine. He played an anchor. It didn't do much. It killed an Azuri, and that was it.
Wow.
And then Shaman of the Pack.
That was pretty good. So, Shaman of the Pack, basically the free win cards of this deck, and one of the reasons to rush it. And that's a huge reason why, is because the deck is able to build so much of a board, and while you are running a lot of smaller creatures, sometimes it has trouble getting through that damage. Enter the scene, Azuri, which is a deck that wasn't played for a long time, or a card that wasn't played hugely for a good amount of time, and Shaman of the Pack. Both of them with this great ability, one of them to allow all of your creatures to deal huge amounts of damage, sometimes 4 to 6 each, or 4 to 7 each, once you start including like Elvish Archdruid. Or you start looking at something to where Jacob, going for the Shaman of the Pack, all of a sudden it's just a free swing in, getting over the top, and you don't even have to attack. It's just free damage. So, absolutely love that.
I do agree, Smooth. I think that Chance probably could have been attacking with like Raging Ravine on several turns, and just eventually knocking Jacob to the point where he needed to be blocking. So.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty thrilled by that. So thank you to everybody. Dark Saga, thanks for joining us. I think the EE on 2 was actually a really odd choice, and I think he put that EE on 2 to really make sure that he could remove the spell.
Yeah, he wanted to get rid of Spellskite, but when you're playing things like Terminate, you gotta not worry about that. You gotta stop him from going wide, right?
Yeah, and you don't run EE as a 1-for-1 removal. That's just not the role that it fills. So I think that is the right call to where what I think his mentality was, if I can remove the Spellskite, then I can 1-for-1 the rest of these spirits. When it was, if I can remove all of the 1/1s, then I can take out the Spellskite whenever I want.
That's a hand with
2
one land.
Elvish Visionaries, a Shaman of the Pack, a Heritage Druid, and a Nettle Sentinel.
I think you take Heritage Druid.
I think I do too, with no turn 1 mana dork able to come down.
Yeah.
really solid, and that would have meant that he could drop in this Nettle Sentinel.
Okay, Nettle Sentinel online. Got a 2/2.
Okay, so, I mean, a 2/2 is all well and good, but looks like, oh yes, a Thoughtseize. We're taking another look. At this point, which one are you going to be
I drew
taking?
an Azuri. I think you probably take one of the Visionaries.
I have to
Just
agree.
in hopes. Takes the Azuri.
I
Okay.
don't think that's a bad call.
I
If he's
think
got spot
that's
removal in hand. The Scarlet Spud, thank you so much for hitting that follow button. I appreciate you. And hello to anybody who is joining us from Chris. I do really appreciate the tweet out. It's awesome having you. And, yeah, thanks.
Lightning Bolt. Oof. Alright. Jacob needs to hit a land. Well, here's a Llanowar Elves. That's almost a land. But it gets Abrupt Decayed.
Well,
So it's a land that got Abrupt Decayed.
it's almost a land in that Abrupt Decay is almost a sinkhole. So, we have a Nettle Sentinel
Another
coming
Nettle
down
Sentinel,
for
that's
Jacob.
gonna die.
Oh my goodness! The wrecking!
Has so much.
Oh my goodness, Chance is not...
Sends the turn back. Here's 2.
I'm pretty sure Chance
Visionaries
decided
online.
to side
Here we
himself
go.
in as Anger of the Gods.
He is Anger of the Gods.
He does have a clock in the Raging Ravine, interestingly enough. Dropping
Yeah.
that down turn 2 after going for some solid hand disruption means that Chance has got some potential to where eventually all these wonderful ones...
He needs to get a red source to activate that ravine, though.
Chromatic Blast, hello, and again, thank you so much for your really generous donation. That is absolutely incredible. We are going to put it towards some sweet giveaways going forward. Our thought is to use it to get basically all the stuff that we do giveaways for the 3,000, but you have a lot of say in how we do this giveaway, so let us know.
Let us know what you want to see given away.
Yeah.
Chromatic Blast.
You definitely have a little bit of say in it.
So here is the red source. Down to 10 goes Chance.
Mm-hmm.
And Raging Ravine maybe going to come online here? Yep. Raging Ravine going to rumble.
So, it is going to go up to a 4-4, and we are just taking it going down to 16. Feeling a little bit brave here. We don't have the third
Good
land,
ones,
so we can't start dropping those ones, but we do have the Elvish Visionary, so we can drop that one, hopefully hitting the third land. We do. Probably putting it in tapped. Okay. Did Chance lend the deck from someone?
Nope, this is his.
Yeah, to my knowledge, this is Chance's deck.
So another Visionary was able to come down, and Jacob was able to play his third land.
Yeah.
Which means next turn he can play Arch Druid and attack for 4.
I can't
With
wait.
Chance at 9? I think Jacob is winning this race.
Jacob, so if the Archdruid is what comes down, he's got a chance, because all of a sudden anger, things like that, and I'm not sure what Chance has in hand, because you have to think that if he's spending all of his turn attacking with the Raging Ravine, he's now drawn 2
Boom.
cards, and he's gaining resources again.
Yep. Down to 5 is Chance.
So hopefully we have an anger, we've got some 1-for-1, anything like that. Lash Curve. I honestly don't know. I've never really been of the opinion that it was overly incredible, but thanks.
Okay, here's 3. Kozilek's Return.
In Jund?
Yeah,
Really?
It's been starting to see some play as a good way to answer Master of Waves and Etch Champion.
I actually like it a lot for another reason, which is that when you look at these decks, they are at their core a green-black rock deck. And when you've been running Anger the Gods, which is, let's not argue about it, is incredible, it does mean that you're also in this position of the double red can actually be a little bit costly. So I like this. It's sweet. It's an instant speed spell. Very cool. I can really get behind that. Kozilek's Return also just pretty much doing some solid. A little bit less good against Zoo, but Zoo not a huge consideration at the moment.
Yeah.
Apart from the Death Shadow Zoo. So. Oh no, the lack of a damage there can definitely matter.
Shock in TJ's voice.
The shock in TJ's voice.
What?
I prefer a bolt, if you know what I mean.
Of course you do.
Yeah, I think the
Visionary.
chess champion is big. Okay. So,
If Jacob's able to get some elves on the field, he does have the Shaman of the Pack in his hand.
and chances at 5.
Chances at 5.
He's got 2 cards in hand. I could actually see Jacob coming back for this one just because he's got so many value cards.
A Heritage Druid.
Here's
So here's Heritage Druid. He's got another 1-mana elf. No, he doesn't.
Ooh,
Okay.
getting a little bit risky here. We're going to see an
2 mana?
Abrupt Decay, I think, on the Heritage
Terminate.
Druid. Oh, okay, Terminate.
Takes out Druid.
Thoughts on making Shardless Eagle in Modern? It's probably too good.
You're gonna fetch here, Chance?
That's super risky.
Ugh.
Wow. That is a risky fetch. Maybe just looking to make sure that he hits gas. But that... Oh, that's so risky. Lord Red Raven, I watched it for a very short bit today. So, you find the last Blood Moon. You're going to need Skred. Gray CL, do it. I love Skred Red. I love Blood Moon. I like Mono Red. That's going to be awesome.
Blood Moon is sweet.
So all we have is Hedgetrude. I mean, he was able to remove the 1, but going to 4 is definitely risky. I think he's just trying to make sure that he ends up drawing well.
Especially since next turn, Jacob can play both Azuri and Shaman.
Right. Does he have the land in hand?
Yeah, he has.
Okay.
He has land, Heritage Druid, Shaman.
Okay.
No, sorry, land, Azuri, Shaman.
So you have to keep back the Raging Ravine, because otherwise playing both of those and then just an attack with this Heritage Druid means a win. So you got to be at least a little bit cautious about this.
We'll see if Chance thinks about that, though.
Mm-hmm.
Because it looks like he's casting something.
Okay,
He's
so
planning on casting something.
with it being red-black, I don't know, he might be going for the classic fake out there. Could be pretty sweet there. Okay. What have we got here? Oh yeah, I do love that. I'm really excited about you doing that.
It looks like he's planning on... what is
Damnation?
he casting? Is this Kalidas? Or is he activating
Kalidas
Raging
would be
Ravine?
phenomenal right now.
What is he doing? I know that Chance likes to side in Thrun in weird situations.
Really?
I've seen him side in Thrun in matchups where Thrun shouldn't be sided in.
Huh. Punch you in the eyes. It's good to see you. I'm doing well. How about you? I had a barbecue just before this today. You? Doing good?
Yeah, doing good. I went and got some stuff on my car fixed. Paid a lot of money for that. So I'm down a lot of money right now.
Night. Kolagon's command. Okay.
Okay, Kolagon's command. 2 there. Make you discard. Gonna discard a land. Alright.
It does mean that he can't cast both of those next turn, interestingly, unless he draws that.
Hey, he drew a land.
Nice. Oh, man.
I'm gonna show you probably this is area that I'm casting.
Yep.
And then I'm gonna play this, and you're gonna go to 2.
In response...
On the stack. Gonna take 1. I'm down to 3.
Chance is okay. Chance can very easily come back into this game.
Absolutely he can. Tarmogoyf.
Whoa! Of the draws that you're gonna get, let's
You know?
rock and roll. Oh my
Alright,
goodness.
Jacob. Collected company. Collected company.
Pretty much collected
That's what
company
you
into
need to
Shaman
draw
Shaman.
Right now. Shaman would be dumb.
Oh man, this is sweet. Absolutely, absolutely love this. So, just a pass back from Jacob. That does tell me that it could be a collected company or a land. Collected company. Cord.
So this is a cord for 2, it looks like?
Yeah.
Gonna get a
Dwynen's Elite.
Visionary?
I think Dwynen's Elite.
Dwynen's Elite is good too.
Dwynen's Elite's really solid. You could go for a Visionary to try and get another draw. I like that one a
Sorry,
lot.
it looks like he is going for 3. And he's counting.
Just the 2.
Nope, okay, 2.
I could see Dwynen's Elite just so that you can start doing the beatdown.
Scavenging Ooze.
That's an interesting choice.
I'm on
Able to
board,
gain some life. Not an elf, but actually that's interesting.
Just got a Twitter notification about me?
I don't know what the Twitter notification about Bryce is.
What was the Twitter notification about me? What did
Apparently
I
a
do?
thing. By the way, if any of you are ever looking to see what we've got going on and when we are streaming, always feel free to hit that follow button on Twitter at RedBaronMTG. I'll let you know when we're streaming, how we're streaming, why we're streaming, and all other kinds of fun stuff. Now, shrinking down the graveyard to make this Tarmogoyf a lot smaller. Love it. Absolutely love it. So, we're down to a 3-4 Tarmogoyf. It does mean that eventually Jacob might be able to attack by just really hand-picking what he's able to take care of here. No red in field made me sad. I do like red. I can definitely get behind that.
Well, Kenny Coop, if you follow me on Twitter, maybe you'll get notifications about me.
For show. Taking a
never
look at
know.
what else we've got, probably just doing the numbers to see if he can shrink this Goyf enough to swing in with it. But having a Dwynen's Delete off of the draw, really solid.
Fantastic.
Chances in trouble.
Chances are going down.
Boo.
All right, here's an attack.
Okay.
They said that the cavern is on Lurgoyf.
It's on elves.
Pretty sure it's.
Go in for an attack. There are enough creatures. If your chance, I mean, you have to block. You don't get the choice. I'm actually a little bit
Yeah.
surprised that we didn't also swing with this Shaman of the Pack. Because there are definitely enough creatures.
No, you. The
I
problem
think
is
Jacob
you
just-
need to not attack with the shaman.
Because he has the he's got the Raging Ravine.
Yeah, well, yeah, because then he just blocks both of your things.
Yep.
And then.
Twitch banned you 3 times. My goodness.
Wow.
Yeah, but we do have the Raging Ravine up as a blocker. I might almost just toss that in front of it. We are doing the math. He's got plenty of creatures. You might just throw them to the Tarmogoyf as a blocker. It does mean that then your Tarmogoyf isn't going to keep getting shrunk, and you can go for something like a mass removal spell, which eventually could
He
lead its way
could
into...
double block.
Are we seeing that?
Gonna eat 4 creatures.
And that's enough to
Scavenging
kill.
is gonna go up to a 6/6, so that's gonna kill that. And Tarmogoyf is left over.
Yep. Oh, wants to prioritize that? I'm not sure what we're getting. Are we prioritizing the...
You're gonna make him hold mana to activate Raging Ravine. I actually like that idea. If you want a blocker, you're gonna have to pay mana to activate Raging Ravine.
What?
What just happened there? Did he double block or did he single block?
I think he's single blocked.
I think he single blocked.
Yep. Interesting.
I have no idea what happened. but-
Decade Zerg, we do have it.
Pithy Needle.
Naming Scavenging Ooze, I guess, if you want to
Probably.
open it up and find out. But that, yeah.
Scavenging Ooze.
And we just lost. Attack all out. Elves takes it in 3. Really surprising
be
win
it.
there. Why would you bring in... I'm really thrown off by bringing in Pithy Needle against this deck.
I don't know.
Like,
Maybe you can name Missouri?
you can name Azuri, but that just... I'd rather just remove Azuri. I get Pithy Needle works a lot better for things that you can't
Yeah.
just eliminate. So...
Definitely agree.
I don't know, but let's head back up to the booth. We've still got about 10 minutes left, so we can see if there's a Game 3 that is currently existing out there, and let's see what we've got.
I'll see if there's anything.
See you there. Hello, and thank you for joining us. Chris, have a great night. Thank you so much for the support. It was awesome having you. I look forward to seeing you more in the future. Naming Azuri is pretty good. Possibly, I'm just not entirely sure if it's worth bringing it in for. Looks like we're at 230 people. Thank you to all of you for joining us. My name's TJ. Bryce is the co-host. We're doing fun stuff, and we are gonna... Man, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I'm excited. Be sure to hit that follow button because we stream 4 times a week consistently. We're in Snohomish, Washington, which means that we are on Pacific time. It's currently about 8:20 today, which means... Or 8:20 here, right now. Not all day. But every Monday at 6:30 you can join us for some sweet, sweet Standard. Every Wednesday and every Saturday, be sure to join us for Modern. More Modern. Lots of Modern. Every Wednesday at 7 o'clock and every Saturday at 6. You can also join us a week and a day from now, Sunday the 31st at noon. You can join us for a preliminary Pro Tour qualifier. It's going to be like 8 to 9 hours of Magic because we're going to have 5 rounds plus some and into a cut to top 8. It's going to be really, really cool. Looks like we've got a Rosen87, thank you so much. I haven't seen you in the chat much. I have to assume that you are a lurker, but thank you. You are a featured viewer of the day. It's awesome having you, and I do appreciate you. Joining us. So I hope that you're enjoying it, and if you ever do feel like it, feel free to jump into that chat. Also, you can join us every Friday at 7:30 for Legacy. What are my thoughts on running Eldritch Evolution alongside Collected Company and Elves rather than Cord? It allows for more consistent turn 2 Archdruid Silver Bullets, as well as just fetching Shaman of the Pack. I like it. Actually, I think that Cord is still pretty solid, but you can go for the turn 3 Cord pretty consistently for something like the Elvish Archdruid. I'm not sure if I'd want it completely replacing Cord, but I do like the idea of Eldritch Evolution in Elves. But I think the instant speed is still pretty good. Interesting.
Alright, so we are going to have our finals.
Do we have the finals coming up?
Yep.
Tell me a little bit about it.
Facing the wall, I believe, should be Dylan on Murphy.
Okay, Dylan making it to the finals.
And he's up against Jacob on Elves, who's sitting in the same spot.
It is the battle of the tribes. Oh my
Jeez.
goodness. What do I think of reprinting Remand instead of reprinting Unsubstantiate? I don't know.
Remand would be really good in Standard, I think.
Right now?
Yeah.
Absolutely. So actually, I like it as it is, and I actually think that Unsubstantiate is going to see play. I think that it's actually going to get played in Merfolk, personally. But this is a pretty sweet one. So, Elves versus Merfolk, who do you think takes the edge? Because I was wrong last time we had this same... that I came up with a prediction. I've got one for you, though.
So typically Elves is the winner in the Elves v Merfolk match.
Yeah, and I guess both of them are decks... Elves excels when your opponent is interacting with you.
When your opponent is interacting with your creatures.
Yes. Let's head on down, though, and have some fun.
Dylan's not there.
As far as Unsubstantiate in Merfolk, I like it a lot because, at least for being tested, the big thing is that historically Merfolk has been kind of on the fence between running an ability that bounces a creature and running an ability that counters a spell. They've run both of them as a flex spot historically, and they've always had to kind of make this meta call on which one that they want, either between Spell Pierce or a bounce spell or something. I like the idea of running one that will do both for them when they need it. So I think that Unsubstantiate is probably going to at least be tested a lot in Merfolk, and I think that it will inevitably have a spot there. It doesn't draw you a card, which is a real consideration, but nonetheless, I'd be curious. Elves is the second worst matchup for Merfolk, behind Affinity. Yeah, we'll see. We will see. Lash Curve, I have. Maybe not yours personally, but I have heard of a band called it. Boo.
Boo.
Okay.
Hiss. Boo. Hiss.
So I think that Elves is going to have an advantage here just because... Now, Dylan does have a little bit more removal, and I think that Dylan's got a solid chance. We have seen both Gut Shots and Psionic Blasts out of his sideboard, plus multiple Dismembers, and, I mean...
We saw him able to take down... We saw him be able to take down Infect earlier, which is typically not a great matchup for Merfolk.
Mm-hmm.
So... Oh, well, someone called odds. I think it was Jacob. Or
Right.
Dylan called evens.
Goblin Guy, but as long as it's family friendly. Does anyone here play Death Shadow Zoo? Not currently. I've actually been putting a lot of thought into throwing it together so that I can put it in people's hands, however.
Oh, Elvish Mystic.
Turn on Elvish Mystic, always a solid start. Looks like Dylan going to be starting with a Curse Catcher. Not great at the moment. Phone died. Didn't catch if anything was said over Burn in Legacy or Bushwhacker Zoo in Modern. I'm not quite sure what kind of questions that you have for that. Let me know what kind of clarification that you have there. So, what turn 3? I mean, an Elvish Archdruid right now would be incredible.
Elvish Archdruid would be very good. Even an Azuri would be fine.
Azuri would be solid. It'd be a great way to start applying this little pressure. Infect is just a better and faster zoo. I'm not sure if I fully agree with that one, but there's a reasonable argument to be made there. But I think that Infect really falls into the combo.
And
realm.
that's a turn.
Wow.
Winans Elite comes in. He still has a mana floating if he wanted to cast a 1-drop, but he doesn't, so...
That's solid. Project Barret, I love that. That's awesome. Yes, the baubles are very important. The cantrips are hugely important in Death Shadow.
Absolutely.
You get to run, what, 16 of them? 12
Yep.
of them? 16.
4, 8...
12? Man, it's a lot, though.
What's the other zero mana cantrip that you would run? 'Cause
You have Gitaxian Probe,
you run
Vicious
Probe
Bauble,
and Bauble.
and Street Wraith.
4, 8... Oh yeah, Street Wraith. That's
Yep.
true.
Okay.
What is your non-burn answer to Infect?
What is my non-burn answer to Infect? Removal, Sweepers, Pyroclasm, Anger of the Gods.
He's saying Jeskai
Hand Disruption. Jeskai Nahiria, Obzon Coco is a really good one.
Company is very good.
Yeah. 8 Rack is surprisingly funny against it.
But then they get to just attack. You just get to attack with your Noble Hierarch. And then pump it. And they're like, oh, right, you can do that.
Yep. So, we do have the Dwennan's Elite, the Elvish Art, or we've got the Heritage
Dylan Stern
Druid.
2 is not quite as impressive as
No.
Jacob's.
I mean, it's not bad. He can do this beatdown game plan, but I think that Elves is just flooding the board, doing a great job of it, and really applying a ton
The
of
stream
pressure.
drain your battery, not Pokemon Go.
Mm-hmm.
That means you're doing something right.
Thing in the Ice Control to be a thing in Modern, I like it in the sideboard of Infect. It's pretty sweet.
Interesting attack. Jacob has collected company in his hand.
I think he's really relying on the fact that he's going to hit a, like,
Archdruid.
something.
2 Archdruids. Double Archdruid.
I would have rather done that main phase, though, before seeing if I want
Before
to attack.
attacking. Well, here's a company.
Nothing wrong with a main phase here, unless he really wants to try and get this Lord of Atlantis out of the way. But I'd be much more confident attacking and knowing that I'm either dealing 7 and developing a turn 2 clock.
And collected company is going to get countered by the Curse Catcher.
Yeah, and
That's why you don't do that.
that doesn't seem great. I would have preferred having that Heritage Druid available there.
Ooh, awkward play a land afterwards.
Oh no! That's super awkward. Zealous Persecution, also a great card there.
Zealous Persecution is a sweet card.
Night of Soul Betrayal is a really solid answer to Infect. Overall, I think Infect is just, I don't know. Infect is good, but vulnerable. The deck can be a bit fragile. So, that didn't go too well. I
No,
think
it did
Jacob
not.
may have just given away that game. I mean, I think he can still recover
I
pretty
think
well
he's
from this
still
game,
got a good amount of being able to win this game.
but he's in trouble. And he's got a land and a Reclamation Sage. Might as well cast it. But your board isn't that incredible anymore, and you're racing against, you know, the unblockability.
It's blow up the spreading seas.
Right. Right. How long do sleeves last? It depends. Realistically,
How mean you are to them.
on how you shuffle and how often you play.
Yep.
I have some sleeves that have lasted me for the last like 5 years, but I don't play that deck much anymore. So realistically, they lasted probably like 2.5 years. And I've had some sleeves, like I replace my modern sleeves maybe 4 to 5 times a year, something like that, every couple months. I mean,
Alright, Vapor Snag going to take out the elf token, but then Dylan going to take some damage down to 13. And Jacob went to 15 from the snag.
yep.
Well, here's a Master of Waves for 3.
It's not bad, and I think
We
Dylan.
definitely have tokens.
Ooh, turn 1 Noble Hire. Congratulations on the PPTQ. To anybody in the area at all, be sure to join us noon here at Geek Fortress, Sunday the 31st. Modern Preliminary Pro Tour Qualifier. Definitely worth checking it out.
Sorry about your 12th place. I mean, it's still a decent finish, but sorry about the 12th place.
Yeah. So, we got a drain for 5 here. We're going to put him down to 8. Dylan in a little bit of trouble, but I think that these elementals are in such a good spot right now. Well, that's a great song, Lash Curve. That's a really good song. Kira.
Kira, great glass
Not
spinner.
great, but it is a flyer, and I think that might
She
be
is
its
a great
only
glass
relevance.
spinner.
She, true. But
Aether Vial.
I think that the biggest part there is that it's a flung 2/2, so that if this comes down to a kind of a stalemate, at least Dylan can keep going over with this 2/2. Okay. So, we're gonna deal down 2. That's a pretty aggressive swing, actually.
Okay, getting a year out of your KMC Hyper Mats, that's pretty good.
Yeah. Okay. That's what Spell Pierce and Vines are for. Also, yeah. Overall, I don't know. Infect is a good deck. I'm not going to argue that one. I don't think... It's probably pretty well positioned in the meta right now, especially with some of the decks that are good against it, not that prevalent on MTGO. But, because, like, Obzon Company, a lot less popular on MTGO, because you can't shortcut the combo, which means that it's a lot harder to take the time to, like, get the infinite life into the infinite damage if you want to. It's definitely worth doing, but it tends to eat up your clock if you're going to do that. So I think that Infect is a really, really good call online, and a great call otherwise, in paper.
Mm-hmm. Well, 8 to 8 right now, as Jacob has played out a rather large amount of creatures this turn.
Mm-hmm. Still looking in a pretty solid position. This Kira, a pretty notable point.
Really needs a Spreading Seas.
That's a dismember, though.
But another Master of Waves is really good here as well.
Does he have one?
Looks like that's what he drew this turn.
I'm okay with that.
Another Master of Waves punches his elementals to a 3.
And you can block
3/2s.
everything.
He can block stuff if he wants to. I mean, he can also just attack with the elementals and the Kira, and that's going to force Jacob to block.
I would probably... Oh, okay. Get some blocks out of the way, and then you drop down another one and refill the board full of blockers. Yeah, I like that one. Okay. So, best deck in Modern. I think that, as it currently sits, it's probably the best position deck in Modern. I think that that's liable to change, however. But yeah, David, I think that there's a lot of reasonable argument for that. Okay. But, yes, Infect is definitely good.
Infect is definitely at the top tier of Modern.
Mm-hmm. So,
Really boring to play. I disagree. Playing Infect is a rush. Straight up.
yeah. I think that Jund, Obzon Company, and Jeskai Nahiri being three biggest decks in Modern right now does really solve that problem a lot.
Flash Curve, you go to Bothell? I went to Bothell. Look at that.
Come play Magic with us sometime.
Yeah.
Absolutely, Lash Curve. That sounds awesome. Ad Nauseam, I think it just isn't played enough. Tier 1 is all about numbers of people playing it, not how powerful it is. So, a swing in 4-2, not going for the swing all out. We do have that Master of Waves. Are you sure that that was another, or Master of Waves in hand?
I thought it might have been a Master of the Pearl Trident.
I think it might have been that Master of the Pearl Trident. Okay. Bryce, how was your year at Bothell? What was your favorite class?
My years at Bothell, I mean, they were good.
Mhm.
They were fine. I was a choir kid, so I liked my choral classes.
Nice. Boggles is a deck that you play.
When you don't want to interact with anyone.
It's great when you're in a field of a lot of interaction. It's really bad versus Infect, interestingly enough. Turn 1 Noble Hierarch. That's reasonable. I think that Jund still does have a lot of game on it, but if you've played it for over a year, it means that you might have a lot more practice in the matchups than others.
Jund is pretty good post-board. Pre-board, it comes down to
get the right half.
Yeah, whether or not the Infect deck draws what. I mean, you know, if Infect draws well, most decks in the format can't beat it.
Boggles has also got some cool things happening with the inclusion of Griff's Boon.
It's true.
Alright, so going for the attack in, and we're going to throw some creatures in front of it, and it looks like we do in fact have a Vapor Snake on his own Master of Waves.
Master and recast it.
Beautiful.
Oof.
Dylan just messed up.
Yep, that's gonna get countered.
Yep. I don't think that Dylan realized that.
Looks like we both get to make mistakes today.
How did that feel?
Exclamation point punt.
In a heartbeat. That's so hard.
Oh.
Oof.
That had to hurt.
That was oof.
So, he doesn't lose the one life, but,
Jacob is down at 4. And it looks like Court of Calling is going to go get
That's Shaman of the Pack.
Shaman of the Pack, and that's going to be it.
taking game 1. Of all the broken draws, Infect has the best. That's probably reasonable.
pretty close.
Yeah, that's reasonable. I would still argue that Affinity is the best turn 1 deck in Modern, though.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. That's pretty good.
Wow. Dylan.
Poor
Like-
Dylan. So
like,
Dylan's
wow.
still relatively new to this deck. He's been playing
Yeah,
it for a
he's-
couple months, doesn't play it a ton. I think the biggest issue that we have here is that Dylan has not played it enough to run into those situations as much as he could have. And I think he just now learned, because I think Kira is a little bit new for him. I don't think he was running that much before.
Yeah.
And I think he just now realized...
Siding her out.
I mean, actually, you should
Get
in this
out.
matchup anyway.
Get out of here. I
But-
don't want you.
Man. Grishol is not a real deck?
Grishol Brand is real. Don't, yeah.
You
Grishol
missed
Brand
the
is a
Baron-
stupid name, says Doro, who plays the deck. Calls it different. I think he calls it, like, Gristle Cannon or something like that.
Something like that, Gristlebrink Cannon. But yeah, I don't really think that Infect is really worth banning. Even if it is one of the better decks in the format, when people want to beat it, it is something that they can beat. But the punt was that he he targeted a Vapor Snag at his own Master of Waves with the intent of recasting it out and getting a huge amount of elemental tokens. What he did do was cast a Vapor Snag targeting his own Master of Waves, which got countered by his own Kira the Great Glass Spinner. Yay!
Woo!
So, that's pretty good. Man. Turn 1 Noble Hierarch, you played against Affinity. Turn 1 Nature's Claim, the Springleaf Drum. Turn 3 Become Immense. That's reasonable. I mean, you are favored against Affinity. That's just the way that it goes. Which is why
It's just the way it is.
I've written a decent amount on Reddit about how to play against Infect with Affinity. And as I'm sure Bryce will not be surprised, it involves playing the control deck.
Crazy. TJ likes to take aggro decks and make them control decks. Who knew?
Oh, man. But yeah, I really don't think that it's worth banning Infect right now. What do I think of Naya Nahiri Valakut? The deck is sweet. I think that there are other decks that do the same thing, maybe a little bit more streamlined. But it is sweet, absolutely.
It's a cool deck.
It is very much a cool deck. Okay. So, it's definitely an interesting one. Aaron Lee, you are welcome. It's going to be fairly interesting there. I don't know. I don't always know. Because majority players, yeah. Demo3364, hello, it's good to see you. It's awesome having you, and hello to everybody. We're over 200 people today pretty consistently.
Oh, yeah.
I'm really thrilled about that. We were getting there for a little bit, and then it kind of dropped down a little bit. I think as summer started happening, a lot of people are out, but
People
thank
are
you so
doing
much to
things.
everybody. It's awesome
It's
having you.
Pokemon Go.
Personal,
Be honest.
Personal preferences rule the chat. Yes. K-Marky, I think that Incendiary Flow was one of the better spells that I've been given for some time.
Wow. Tidebinder Mage, tap your Llanowar Elves.
Yep.
Getcha.
Destus, I'm sorry to hear that, but as the Affinity player, I'm happy to hear that. So, we're going to drop down, looks like another Llanowar Elves and a Nettle Sentinel after going for a fetch down to 19. If Dylan can follow this up pretty well, his sideboard loaded up with removal right now. Do we have another Tidebender? I'm pretty sure we do.
Does he?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that second card in is another Tidebender Mage, which is hilarious. No, that's Silvergill. Okay, I was wrong. Otherwise, I'd be happy. See, I think he's been playing down these Silvergill adepts kind of aggressively.
Look at my Curse Catcher.
Reveals it. He does have the ability to cast it, and that's going to prevent something like a Collected Company, which is definitely solid. And I'm okay with dropping this down right now. But I really like when you have plays that are just better, it's always interesting that when you see them kind of cast out this Silvergill adept with the intent of, like, maybe I'll hit something better. Well, why not just play the better card?
Call Momo. Did any new cards see play tonight? Absolutely. Our first round had Harmless Offering that was played,
Yep.
and I believe
We've had
our
Eldritch Evolution.
second round had Eldritch Evolution.
Mm-hmm.
So we've seen a couple things played. Both those decks lost.
Yeah, but, you know, it's brew season.
Yeah, exactly. You're trying to figure stuff out. So.
Twisted Image laughs at Spellskite. True. Very true.
Twisted Image goes, hey, Spellskite, let me draw a card and kill you.
Hooray!
It also does that to, Birds of Paradise, and Noble Hierarch, and Wall of Omens, and
Second,
Wall of Roots.
Putting Ravager counters onto a Spellskite fixes that pretty well, though. I've
That's
had
true.
fun with that. I mean, of course, this is all getting into the anecdotal, like, one-upping, but the fact is that Infect is good. I'm not sure if that's even worth arguing against, but to say that it's unbeatable, I think, is overdoing it.
Silvergill Adept, reveal my Master of Waves.
That seems okay. We've got the Curse Catcher to prevent possibly just some blowouts, even though there is plenty of mana available. We do have two of these Silvergill Adepts. If he can start putting down these Lords, they're going to be really solid. And we have...
It's a Reclamation Sage.
but nothing to hit right now.
I'm going to play a 3-mana 2-1. Aw, yeah.
David, thank you so much for joining us, by the way. You are making a solid case for Infect. I don't mean to say that one. It's just really hard for me to say that that deck is unbeatable when I see it lose a decent amount as well. So, I don't know. I dig it. I think that Infect is a sweet deck, and I'm never going to argue that the deck is bad. I play it. But to say that it's the best is, I think, an I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sure if I'd really take that position. Definitely really well positioned right now. Okay. So, the Master of Waves coming down. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just 5? Is he not including the Master Waves? What?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh,
5,
I
6.
was assuming that Tidebender Mage is only a 1 in
No,
the color
Tidebender
system.
Mage is 2.
Huh.
Phil, that's 6, right?
Okay. There we go. There we go. Just think it's the best deck right now? I think that right now, if I were to go into one, yes, I would go into one right now. But I think that that's liable to change given almost on a week-to-week basis. But I think that right now I would play Infect if I really wanted to just, like, win. Which means that I'd actually play Burn to next level it. But yeah,
Just became a judge today, Cubs fan. Congrats, way to go.
Cubs fan, congratulations. That's awesome. I look forward to seeing more out of you. So, if you want to find a good pop artist, by the way, check out Poppy. Only 4 songs, but it's also totally worth it. Elvish Archdruid coming down, 3 mana, pumping up the whole field, and going to be producing a ton of mana. Looks like a Vapor Snag going to be happening as well. So, possibly just getting that back to the hand to prevent a huge amount of damage. Otherwise, Dylan in a pretty solid position right now.
And Spreading Seas. Nope, Vapor Snag that one as well. You lose another life down to 11. And then I'm attacking you with a bunch of dudes.
Yeah, Dylan is going to untap and attack a lot.
And that's going to be game 2.
Mm-hmm.
As Dylan takes it down. We are on to game 3 of Elves versus Merfolk. I did not think we would get to a game 3. But
Twitch banned me 3 times. Who's my favorite country music star? Johnny Cash. I don't listen. I don't listen to country. It's one of the few genres that I don't actively listen to. Like I don't jump into a ton of weird stuff, but I'm not big into country. I like Johnny Cash though.
Johnny Cash is a good choice.
Yep. Destus, I'm glad to hear that you've heard it. Let's see, you only play Shardless sometimes in Legacy? David, I'm actually curious. How much do you play Modern? I'm curious. Because I have this kind of opinion based on what the thought is. It's nothing against it, and it doesn't make it wrong, but the people who have been talking the most about how good Infect are tend to have one thing about it, and I'm curious to see. Like, the people who have talked about it most and talked about potentially banning a card out of the deck seem to be a lot of the people who jump into Modern and haven't, like, done a ton of focus onto it. Now, granted, I will still agree with you, and I play a ton of Modern, that it's probably the best positioned deck at the moment, but it just seems like the most vocal people tend to be like standard players or like the wide variety format players that don't spend a ton of focus on Modern individually.
Yeah.
So, I'm just kind of curious at that point. Homeed, how do you beat Delver with Blue-Red Drake in Pauper? I don't know Delver or Pauper well enough to answer that one, unfortunately.
It's not a good matchup. Delver is much faster.
David, I did kind of figure. I was just curious. And I do still agree. I wasn't trying to shoot down the point. It's more just a curiosity from what I've been seeing. Okay. So, the Elvish Mystic following up the Aether Vial, a much better turn 1 from Dylan, especially against a deck like this. Being able to flash in stuff like a Harbinger of Tides becomes a really nice option.
Yeah.
And being able to kind of pick and choose when you want to put down that Tidebender Mage also becomes fairly relevant. Okay, best card in Modern is probably Bolt. Yes, I would agree.
I can agree with that.
Okay. But you haven't played a lot of Infect. Bulk of Modern was with Obzon, Junk, and Twin. That's reasonable, but likely you still have a good knowledge of the format. I'm not going to turn that one down. So, it's just interesting. Thank you very much for answering the question for me.
Poor Splinter Twin.
Heritage Druid coming down, not a bad card. Otherwise, in Jacob's hand, I'm not sure if I see a ton. We have a Collecting Company and a Cord, but not a whole lot of things like build into it. So,
Yeah, the most recent list, play 3 Snare, 3 Ram, 3 Leak.
And a Gut Shot taking down the Heritage Druid. It's an interesting choice. I actually think that I may have gone for the Elvish Mystic in that case.
Looks like Dylan down to 17.
Because then, yeah, I actually might have taken the Elvish Mystic. And I know that that's a super iffy one. Like, super iffy. And I don't know the rest of his hand.
Yeah, I think that's just wrong. I think killing Heritage Druid is just very important all the time.
Okay. That's reasonable. I mean, it
What do you guys
means
think
that
of
if
Green-Red Tron right now?
I love it. That deck is
Green-Red
sweet.
Tron is good.
It's in a good spot. Especially anytime you
Loses
have
to
a meta.
Infect.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
I remember GPLA going in the last round. I'm like, just give me Tron, and I got it, and I was like, yay!
So Spreading Spit is taking down the black source that we have. Nice go for it there, even though we still have all the potential to actually go for what we're looking for. Whew. Okay, David, thank you so much for tossing in that info. I appreciate that. That's good to know. Okay. So, 4 mana available. We do have both the Collector. I'd probably play the Collector Company and then use that to dig into what I didn't get with this, because you never know what you're going to hit with the Collector Company.
To be fair, Lash Curve, as far as Remand goes, it's pretty important in Control Mirrors, because in the Counter Wars, you just remand your own spell, and then their counter spell was useless, you drew a card and didn't lose your spell.
Mm-hmm.
That's where remand is most important in Control Mirrors.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting.
So,
So,
just wanted to throw that in there. Some large creatures that Dylan has.
yeah, we're able to swing with 4 power there. We do have... So, I think we're going to just see a Coco in response, and I think what we're hoping to do... Reclamation Sage?
Yep.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. But I don't see it just in that initial glance. So we'll see what we end up coming up with. We do have multiple mana dorks, and instead, double shaman. Hit you for 8. You're still taking a lot of damage, though.
I think 3, 6, 7, 8. Oh, man.
Jacob is just shy of a win right now.
Jacob is a point shy of victory.
Yep.
Vapor Snag in response.
Vios, if I were to play in a modern PPTQ tomorrow, what would I play? Probably Burn, though Infect would probably be my other consideration.
And Violin a Master.
Then that's really good. So
So that's 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So he's down to 12, down to 2.
and he does have a blocker.
And
I think Dylan just took
Dylan's
this.
at 11.
Yep.
Dylan's at 11 because he Vapor Snagged in response.
Oh, okay. Okay. Excellent.
So we might actually see Merfolk take this one down.
But he does have the other shaman. But I think the blocker is going to be a really key part there. If Dylan realizes that he needs to use the blocker, then we're going to see him
Goes
get
to
hit by
1.
4, goes to 1, or yeah. So he goes to 7.
Oh man,
I think that as long as Dylan does block, he's fine.
he can't cast Shaman. He doesn't have a black mana.
He does have a cord, however.
Oh, does he?
Yeah. Though, he is 1 mana shy of actually being able to do it, so he'd have to keep back some of these creatures.
Here's 2 elves.
You do have the ability right now to go for a cord for 3, and, ooh, a swing for 6.
Okay,
You gotta block.
attack for 6.
You block, you go down to 8.
Going to block one of them.
And
takes
that
3.
is the win.
And here's a cord. That's going to be a cord for 3. Ooh, wow! Jacob played that really well.
I think that it's still not a win, though. Because he's hitting them for 3 in addition to 6. That's not enough.
No, that's not
Yeah.
enough.
It was close. It was the right
Down
play,
to 2.
and it depended on him not getting the not blocking. If Dylan had gone not for the block, then he gets the win there.
Yep.
Whew! Love that
Spreading
end.
seas, and so he would have drawn into. Yeah. Okay. So there we go. Finals is done. Merfolk takes it down.
Very nice job to the Merfolk, though one massive misplay, but otherwise some
we'll
pretty
see
tight
if we've
play.
got another match though that we can grab.
All right, let's see it out there and have some fun. As a quick note, I don't think that Twin will ever get unbanned, but hello everybody, it's great to see you, it's awesome having you, and I look forward to the future. My name's TJ, Bryce is my co-host here, looking forward to all kinds of sweet things happening. We do stream 4 times a week. It's always fun. We've got Monday, 6:30 Pacific time. We do standard. Wednesdays and Saturdays, we do modern. 7 o'clock on Wednesdays, 6 o'clock on Saturdays. And every Friday, we have Legacy at 7:30. We've also got the preliminary Pro Tour qualifier coming up the 31st of this month. It's going to be very exciting. We're trying to find another match for you here in round 4. You know, I think that Chwin is a conversation that everybody who did play Chen will never let go of.
All right. There are 2 matches still going, and they are both on game 3. So that is it.
Okay, so that is, interestingly enough, a pretty short stream
It's a
today.
very fast stream.
That was
3 hours for 4 rounds.
Do we have people that want to just go on and do some exhibition?
I don't know.
I don't know. Let's try and get some other matches going on. Let's try and find something sweet. If you do you want to put, we could probably put maybe the Eldrazi into someone's hands too.
We could do that.
Or more Merfolk being requested. I don't know. If people want an exhibition match, let's get it.
Yeah, let's see what we can find.
We have got time. In the meantime, we'll be talking, as always, if you haven't yet, be sure to hit that follow button to the 200 people here. We're going to keep trying to get some more matches just to watch and talk about and have some fun with. If you do have any questions, let me know. Now is a good time. It's been hard for me to focus on the entirety of this. But we'll see what we can do as far as getting things for you. Alright, want to see some spell-based combo? We'll see what we have got out there. Bryce is taking a look to just see who's willing to be an exhibition match out there. And to Ross CR, thank you so much for joining us. Have a good night. And it looks like I see Justin moving over to the camera.
He's going to play against Eric Van Eldrazi versus Blue Moon.
Nice! Okay, so we have got a match here. It is going to be Bant Eldrazi versus Blue Moon. Interesting. Okay.
Bryce versus TJ commentator showdown. Oh boy, what would I even play?
We're looking forward to doing that in the future, actually.
Absolutely.
Favorite event?